Saturday, July 22nd, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing rumbles into New Jersey's Bridgeport Motorsports Park.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Kickstart your weekend with Progressive American Flat Track. It's the Bridgeport Half Mile at Bridgeport Motorsports Park in Swedesboro, New Jersey. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Morgan's Place is a non-profit campground guiding full recovery from injury. Morgan Monroe was injured while racing in 2016 and began the organization to spread hope that healing is possible. For more information or to get involved, please visit their website, morgansplace.org.
Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track and 8-time AFT national champion Jared Meese. Family owned and made in America since 1959, Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at klotzlube.com.
Kicker Performance Audio. For almost 50 years, we've been rocking the planet with our world-class product covering everything that drives you, whether in your car, truck, boat, motorcycle, side-by-side, or even on your head. Kicker Performance Audio's passion for bringing you your favorite music like you've never heard it before is what drives us. So wherever you need us, Kicker Performance Audio will be there for you.
On Sunday, July 30th, Progressive American Flat Track returns to the world-famous SC2 Peoria TT, presented by Country Saloon.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Don't miss the SC2 Peoria TT, presented by Country Saloon. Sunday, July 30th at the Peoria Motorcycle Club. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
It's time for your all-season Power Sports West Virginia half-mile main event mission. Super Twins on the line. Fisher on the pole. Breyer on the outside. 10 minutes plus 2 laps. Here we go. Light is green. Clutches are coming out from the inside. Fisher had a hole shot, but the front end came up. He's back there in 4th place already, James.
Yeah, he almost looped it out. That is not going to help him on the first lap. But look at Meese straight to the bottom. Bauman in 2nd place, and we've got a gaggle of riders trying to fight for that 3rd place as they get close to the wall. Dan Bromley up to 3rd on the 62. He's bringing with him the 32 of Dallas Daniels. He slides into 4th. Meese will lead him off at turn number 4. Lap 1 going in the books. Here they come. I expected this from J.D. Beach. We talked about it. He's usually the first one to try the low line. He's already down there looking at it. Meese out in front, Breyer's in 2nd. Bromley's in 3rd across the line. Now they're 3 wide for 4th place, getting them sorted out. Yep, and now this is going to be a race. They've got to get this Meese guy under control. We know if he goes to the front, he can set a blistering pace, and generally you won't see him ever again. Fisher, who was our fast qualifiers back there in 6th after the front wheel came way up off the starting line. Was that just nerves? I don't know what that was, but it was good. He had a lot of grip, but he's got a lot of work to do, and he's got a lot of fast guys he got to get by. Yep. Pass him as quickly as possible. Let's take a look at the restart. Watch the 67 on the inside. All of a sudden it's going, then all of a sudden it just goes straight up, and at that point you have to let off the gas. Yeah, and you can see Bromley there goes up the inside of him, but I think Fisher just spun the wheel and hit some tacky stuff and the thing launched. Wow, one bike was way up against the Progressive air fence, and here they come off of 4. Breyer's got Meese right there in his sights. Yep. Bromley's right there in the 3rd spot, close by too. 100%. The pace isn't too hot right now. They're running in the low 26s, which we know they can do 25s. Breyer's stalking him already. As we know, late in the race, Breyer likes to really get kind of going, but he's got the number 1, man. He's got the number 1 for a reason, and this guy is calm, cool, and collected. He knows how to lead and win a race from the front. For more on Breyer, here's Hannah.
Checking in with Breyer earlier today, I asked him, does he feel a little bit of that pressure pressure off of him getting that first win under his belt last round, and he said, you know, he still feels the same amount of pressure as ever, but he's definitely carrying some of that confidence over into this round. And he said he's performing better than he expected after qualifying, riding this track with a lot more laps and knowledge about this bike than the last time that they were at a track like this, so he's cautiously optimistic.
That's a good way to put it, cautiously optimistic, but he's working his way towards the front as they're getting so close to that wall coming up for turn number 2, James.
Yeah, they are working the lines. Like I said, you're going to get creative. And look at Dallas. He's so high right now. We expected him to try some stuff. He's getting really, really creative on that SSN Yamaha.
Fisher's kind of locked in that 6th spot. Johnny Lewis from the back of the pack is up to 8th place on the Royal Enfield.
Yep, they're all nose to tail. There's a little bit of gap between everybody. We'll see if Dallas runs that high and starts to come down, getting a little bit more creative. But look at Bauman. He is sniffing Mies right now. He wants a shot.
Breyer going to work on the leader. Now here comes Daniels around the outside of Bromley looking for 3rd. Onto the back straightaway. Mies, Breyer, close, so close to each other.
Look at Bauman. He's working the outside there. I know he's going to try to get this thing pointed. He's trying to get the wheels in line and use a KTM power to see what he can do, but he's just fighting the rear wheel a little bit. And every time he just loses the rear on exit, he just loses speed down the straightaway.
So it looks like 6 riders are breaking away. There goes Fisher way up to the high side. He's up there at Dallas Daniels' line. Is that high line already gone, James?
It kind of looks like it's not working like it did in the challenge, but he's still working it. Well, look, Fisher goes back to the bottom there. And as we got Bromley and Dallas locked into a fight.
Yeah, and the leaders got a fight going on too. Breyer's right on the back tire of the leader. Here comes Dallas Daniels looking at the inside. Daniels up the inside of the 62, trying to take over that 3rd spot and makes the pass.
Whoa, Fisher's up high, trying to fish for a win, big dog.
There he is. He needs to get up here. Come on. Out in front. Nope. Back to 3rd, the 32 and the 62. Here comes the 95 with the first shot on the 67.
Yep, look at Bromley. That Yamaha is working really, really good. As he taps Dallas on the right. Just let him know he's there. Bromley's done this before.
Yep.
He just let him know, hey, give me a little bit of room. I don't want to go to the wall. But, you know, this is racing, man, and anything can happen.
All right, let's check in with Hannah, who's got more on the 32 of Dallas Daniels.
For Dallas, consistency has been huge for him. The confidence carried over from being with this team last year. He said he didn't really believe in himself last year as much as he needed to. He wasn't as ready as he thought he was, but he did learn a lot. He said trying to figure out how to be such a savvy and knowledgeable rider like Mies is something that drives him. To have such a worthy adversary has really helped his growth throughout this season. He said his goal before starting the season was to win the championship, but he couldn't have dreamed of it going as well as it has so far.
Dallas having an amazing year as we go back out in front. Here's Breyer looking for the lead, going in higher, going into 3. Here comes Breyer.
Breyer's always been really good mid-corner. Oh, he touches the wheel of the rear wheel of Mies there, just trying to cross him up. Mies is a little bit slow mid-corner, but he can roll the corner.
Halfway flags are out, 5 minutes down, 5 minutes and 2 laps remaining. Breyer's on the back tire of the leader.
Yeah, Breyer is known for his mid-corner speed. He kind of reinvented the sport with his mid-corner speed, and I think he's going to have a stab. He's not going to let Mies go without having one look at him as he goes from high to low.
Here he comes, squaring off the corner. Breyer taking a look at the inside. Jared trying to shut the door. 2 riders pulling away.
Man, Mies is a bulldog. I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to move him to get him out of the way.
Mies running a perfect race so far. Maybe a little defensive, but that's all right. Now there's a first shot at Dallas Daniels. While these two are mixing up for the lead, Dallas starting to close in on these leaders.
Yep, Dallas is really doing well. He's a gamer as always. And look, he is putting some good lap times in. It seems like they're a little bit off, still doing low 26s. Will be interesting to see as we are. We're still 4 minutes away. There's so much racing left.
Right. Breyer's right there stalking the leader. Here's the battle for 3rd. Bromley looking for his career. Oh, Bromley hits the back tire of the 32. Almost comes out the bike. Dallas looks back to see who it was. He might think that was his teammate, but it was the 62 got into the back tire of the 32. Not intentional. That was a racing incident.
That's what happens when the track gets slick on entry. They're all riding the same line on entry, and you just lose the rear there, or Bromley gets in a little bit deep. And let's go back and look at this.
Watch the 62 who's going to hit the back of the 32 right there and does an excellent job by not going over the handlebars, and Dallas does an excellent job staying on that motorcycle.
This is the second time Dallas Daniels has been to the locks here in that thing, and he saved it. Wow, that could have been drastically crazy for the... Yeah.
Fisher just about bounced off the wall on the back straightaway. Now his brake is glowing red. He's up there in the 6th spot. He wants some more.
That is a typical old dirt track tactic, is to keep the rear brake on during the middle of the corner to try to settle the motorcycle and gain grip.
Dallas Daniels back up the inside of Bromley. He is in 4th now as J.D. Beach has gotten by while all that was going on with the 32 and the 62. Beach is in 3rd. Dallas Daniels hasn't finished off the podium yet this season.
Yeah, he's going to have to fight for this one. He's got Bromley up the inside, really running him wide. Wow, Dallas is super high there.
That was the highest anybody's gone all night, James.
They are racing each other. If you look, though, this is only helping JD Beach get away from them.
Yep. Here comes Fisher and Jared Meese and Briar Bauman. They're getting away from these 4 riders as well.
And look, Meese has put the afterburners on at 26.0 the last lap. This guy is running a blistering pace. He's kind of broken away from Briar. I don't know, maybe sometimes we always talk about the tires. Do they overheat something like this? Do the brakes go away? What's happening? And it's crazy to see that Jared just consistently running low 26s.
And sneaking away. He's ahead by half a second. This is the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. The 32 of Daniels. And he's got his hands full with the 62 of Bromley, the 67 Fisher, who won the Mission Challenges back there, stuck in traffic after the front wheel came off the ground in his off the starting line.
Yep, and it looked like we had a rider on the inside of the track there. Somebody's broke or something. But back to this battle here. Look at Fisher working that low line with that glowing brake rotor. And we got Jared Vanderkoy lurking in the background. I don't know if he's going to be able to do something, but he's lurking.
He is coming on the 20 bike. We're watching this good 3-way battle. This is the 32 of Daniels in 4th. The 62 of Bromley's in 5th. And here comes Fisher. Fisher up the inside. Bromley reaches over and touches him, just like he did Dallas a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit dicey there. Fisher really wants that spot. He works to the high line. Bromley goes back low, see if he can get a run on him. He gets spun up in the mid-corner. It looks like Fisher's going to take him across the line, see if he can go and hunt down Dallas, as Dallas needs to hunt down JD.
Fisher's up to 5th now, making his way towards the front. A minute and a half and 2 laps remaining. There is Fisher right there, the 67. He can see the 32 just ahead of him. They can see what's playing out just ahead of where they're running.
Yeah, and Dallas Daniels is 2/10 faster than JD Beach that last time. He has definitely found something creative in both corners. He is closing in big time on JD Beach. This is going to be a run for the podium. He doesn't want to give his podium streak up.
And why would you? He's got 10 in a row. Make that 11 going back to last season. Dallas squares off the corner. He's chasing his teammate on the 95. Dallas Daniels on the move. He wants to get another podium and continue to lead the points here, leaving West Virginia.
Yeah, Dallas has found a new line at the top here in 3 and 4, and he's making it work. Look at the run he's going to get. He's not going to get the room from JD Beach, and then he goes to turn 1 and 2 and runs a completely different line.
I think he found that line in 3 and 4 on accident when he got forced up there. Now Darius Fisher's on the prowl on the 67, going to the high line on the Indian.
Yeah, if you look at Fisher, he's going to follow Dallas Daniels to the top here. Unfortunately, JD Beach does not know about this line he's about to get.
He's going to figure it out real quick.
And hopefully he doesn't get passed by both here, but he is going to go to the top as soon as Dallas, if he can squeak by him.
He got him. Dallas got him at the line. So Dallas now up to 3rd place, trying to get his podium streak a little bit. One more added to that streak.
Whoa, Fisher splits him in the middle there, and he's really riding really hard. But let's see if JD Beach can follow Dallas to the top. He does, but he doesn't quite have the speed because he doesn't know how high to go. And you look at Fisher, he's going to go high-low right here, and he's going to make a move.
Time has expired. They're racing for the checkered flags out here. 2 laps to go has been signaled out to the leaders. Progressive race to the checkered flags. 2 laps to go, James.
What is going to happen with Fisher, man? This guy is riding so hard. I know he wants a podium so bad, but it looks like Dallas has figured this place out. Running super creative as Bromley gets really close to the wall there. Let's see if Beach can close in a little bit, but
look how high Dallas Daniels is going in 3 and 4. White flag is out for your leaders. Here's the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The best battle on the track. Back out in front. There's Jared Meese, final lap.
Yep, and we saw Bauman closing about a 10th the last lap. I don't know if it's going to be enough. 0.7's quite a bit. Looks like he's going to finish, but wow, Jared Meese, how can you not say enough about this guy leading start to finish? About to take checkered.
Half-mile specialist picks up another victory, the 6th of the season for Jared Meese.
And we got this race. Does Dallas do it? It looks like he crosses the line in 3rd place.
Yep, he did.
But I got to tell you, man, pressure's going to mount on this kid.
And Jared Meese wins in West Virginia.
He is pumped.
On Saturday, July 22nd, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing rumbles into New Jersey's Bridgeport Motorsports Park.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Kickstart your weekend with Progressive American Flat Track. It's the Bridgeport Half Mile at Bridgeport Motorsports Park in Swedesboro, New Jersey. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
DCT is an automatic transmission. You heard right. The Honda DCT is a fully automatic transmission. For a motorcycle, it'll shift faster than you can, at the right time, right speed, and right RPM. And when you want to shift for yourself, use paddle shifters mounted on the left handlebar. Take a DCT demo on a new Honda Africa Twin and other available models. Schedule your DCT demo right now at Al Lamb's Dallas Honda.
Sometimes you just don't need one of these. Sometimes all you really need is one of these. Rent whatever you need from people to do whatever it takes. Go to catrentalstore.com. Let's do the work.
VP Racing Fuels. No matter what motorcycle you race or ride, amateur or pro, we have a fuel to make more power. Keep your bike running cool with VP Stay Frosty Coolin', available in 2 formulas: race ready, designed to be glycol free and track approved, and high performance with freeze protection for street applications. Visit vpracingfuels.com to learn more.
Progressive American Flat Track Championship season.
Sunday, July 30th, Progressive American Flat Track returns to the world-famous SC2 Peoria TT, presented by Country Saloon.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Don't miss the SC2 Peoria TT, presented by Country Saloon. Sunday, July 30th at the Peoria Motorcycle Club. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Parts Unlimited, AMT Singles, sponsored by Kicker. Main event is on the line. We're going 8 minutes plus 2 laps. 19 riders watching the green light. There's 1 yellow, 2 yellows, and it's green. Here comes the Red Bull K team in the middle. James Ott on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, you see Cody Kopp got a great start. Maxwell did not get the start he needed, but we have the other 3 on the front row that are right there in the top 3. Cody Kopp leading Ott, and Trevor Bruner rolling that outside already.
They take that low line through 1 and 2 and then go up the racetrack. Now when they're up to full speed, we'll see which lines will develop. Where's the fastway going to be? They're way up high down here in 3 and 4.
Yeah, and look at Trent Lowe on the Honda. He's done a really, really good job, and he's done a great first lap. As we see Bruner, is he going to make it happen? No, he just falls back in line as Cody's working the middle of the track and going to the high line with Ott.
Kopp leads lap number 1. Ott goes even higher. Here comes Bruner on the bottom. Bruner trying to take the lead away in turn number 2.
Wow, look at the Yamaha run. It's a shutoff contest, and Bruner gets it done as Ott looking for the high line.
Ott just about hits the back tire of Cody Kopp on the 1. Bruner's back to the high side. A 3-way battle. Let's check in with Hannah. Hannah's got more on Cody Kopp.
When I checked in with him, he said the bike was easy to ride from the first session. Minimal changes throughout the day today. But with times being so close, it's important for him to get up to speed quickly and be a bit more aggressive here than he normally would be at the start of the race. But that's the name of the game, he told me. Balancing aggression with a slick track that requires patience.
I agree with that, James. You got to be aggressive, but you also have to have throttle control.
100%. You can see it. The people that are being aggressive right now are kind of losing spots, and you've got to be able to make the moves when they count. You can see Trent Lowe looking at the low line there, and they're just all over the place.
And they're looking for the fastest way around. They're looking for the traction on the racetrack, too. It looks like Bruner's got a little bit of a lead now. Kopp in second. Ott is in third. Now here comes Trent Lowe.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if Cody Kopp tries to fall in, and look, he's followed Bruner right now. He's looking for that line. Ott looks really good. Trent Lowe is right there as well. And Tom Drain seems to just have found a little bit of pace here, and he's trying to work the high line on Lowe.
Yeah, it's hard to do. You know, you're looking for a way through. You don't want to follow anybody, but at the same time, there's not a lot of choices. I mean, you got to make whichever choice you can, stick to it through each of the corners.
And I'm going to tell you right now, this guy's a gamer. Chase Sadath is just lurking in the background, 7th place, just watching this unfold in front of him and see if he can make a move on Maxwell there, who's rebounded from a really poor start.
Trent Lowe's trying to be the closer. He's working it up. He's caught to these top 3 riders. Now we thought we were going to have 3 of them break away. Trent Lowe is right there. Drain's back there in the 5th spot. They're side by side almost for second. Here comes Trent Lowe. Lowe's looking for third.
Yep.
48's on the move, James.
Yep, 48. Trent Lowe working the low line there, and he's going to try to go to the inside of Ott here. He's going to get a 2-for-1 here. Let's see if...
They're 3 wide for second place. Man, I didn't see that helmet coming right there in that corner. Cobb holds him off, though, on the front straightaway.
And look at both SSM bikes glowing real red. You got fire. They're breathing like dragons, but it's working for Bruner. He's definitely got some room. He's got, what, half a second on Cody Kopp. Let's see what happens. If they kind of settle down and they got to go to work, they got to get back to him.
He's got to lead it for a long time. It's 8 minutes. We have 5 minutes left plus 2 laps to go. Bruner out front, Kopp in second. Trent Lowe's up there in the third. He's coming for some more. Now Ott gets back guy. He's in third at the line. Now Ott's going to the outside of Kopp in turn number 1 and 2.
He is riding so hard, Ott. He looks so good running the high line. It's just not quite working exactly the way he wants. He's not getting just the run to get by Cody Kopp, who's just really just working the middle, the low to high in the middle line there. So it'll be interesting to see if the adjustments can be made. They've stabilized Trevor, extending the lead right now. It's still half a second.
Let's check in one more time with Hannah Lopa.
Just wanted to touch base with James Ott. You know, we saw him on the podium in Lima, P3 last round. He said he's really confident on a half mile, and this kind of track really suits his riding style. This being his third full season, he's gaining more confidence as the season progresses. He's really been working on his starts, but the last few rounds, they're trying to work together with his teammate in order to make progress. He said he's not a qualifier, he's a racer, and he's hoping to keep the momentum from earlier in the day going.
Battle is on for the top spot. Ott still in the high line. Here comes Kopp in the middle, and they've caught up to the 21 of Bruner.
They have, and Kopp's found a new line as he takes a little peek back, and he sees only Ott there. If you look, Kopp was, for 2 laps, he chopped down to the low line there and cut half the corner off, exiting on the high line and trying to keep that. He's really close in here. There's going to be nothing between the two of them going across into the turn 3 and 4.
I would say Cody Kopp is a half-mile car track specialist, and he goes out in front. It's by Bruner.
Wow, look, they're going to come together here, and he does. He takes the lead. Cody Kopp has found some speed in the middle of this race. He's been very, very good. I always say he's a gamer, but he's found some speed here. Let's see if Trevor Bruner can respond, and the guy's lurking all the time is Ott.
Ott is right there, still looking for his first career victory. He's right there in the third spot on the front straightaway. It looked like Lowe had got there for a little while, but he's starting to lose touch with his top 3 riders.
Yeah, and look, cat and mouse has started. They're going to start chopping and changing, going to the high line to low line. Everybody wants to lead this race, and I think Cody Kopp wants to be at the front.
While these two are mixing it up, James Ott is right there sitting, watching these 2 riders. He's got the ability to see where they're running. He can try other things right now.
He can, and this is such a difficult spot because they're all doing 25 9s and 26 O's. There's not much in it, so if he just makes a little mistake, he's a little bit off, but you can see he's just there. If anything happens, he's going to pounce.
Well, he's right there. I don't know if he knows if he needs anything to happen. He might have the speed and the ability to go around these guys. Now he tries a little bit lower line than Bruner going into 3. Kopp goes to the really high line down there in 3 and 4.
Yeah, Ott's chasing that little bit of dark stuff in the middle, but Kopp's got a little bit of breathing room. And this is the toughest spot of the track where you're 2 minutes to go, and you've got to really dig deep now and try to finish this main out, and it looks like Kopp's just getting a little bit of breathing room.
James, when you're out there, do you look at that clock when you go by the start-finish line?
100%. You got to use all the tools around you. You know, you don't have a pit board out there, so using that clock just to gauge of how many laps you have left and to how much you have in reserve as your fitness.
Cody Kopp continues to lead. Let's check in once again with Hannah Lopa.
Well, as I mentioned before, he said he needed to get up to speed quickly and be more aggressive in these opening laps, but he said he can't be as aggressive on the throttle here, but he feels his experience will allow him to be patient and use good throttle control, especially to focus and be smooth in the corners. He said he has to be comfortable pushing in the unknown conditions as the track changes.
100% would agree with that. You can see, like, Trevor Bruner lost some, and then look, he finds a new line, finds a little bit of sticky, and boom, he's right on the back of Kopp here.
And Ott looked like he lost track of the leaders, but now he's right there on the back of the 21. Kopp got off of turn 2 in a hurry that time.
Yeah, he's pulled a little bit of a gap there, but this is what this whole game is about. It's not to get too aggressive where you lose a huge amount of time in one corner. You've got to look at it as a body of work, right? You've got to put together an entire package for the entire start of the race to the end of the race.
1 minute and 2 laps remaining in your Parts Limited AFT Singles main event. Kopp continues to lead. Bruner is there. Ott still right there on the back tire of the 21.
Yep, it looks like it's stretched out a little bit. It seems like he's put a little bit of daylight in between him and Bruner, and then Bruner's got a little bit between Ott, and then lurking in the background, you got Trent Lowe, who's on a great race. Sadoff, he's a gamer, man. He's back in 5th.
Sadoff came from deep in the field. He's deeper in the field. He got up there in a hurry, and he's kind of selling that 5th spot, but a good recovery after a DNF last weekend.
Yeah, and let me just tell you, Cody Kopp has just set the fastest lap of the race on lap 17 at 25.846. That's as fast as his heat race, and so that's really good late in the race.
There's Sadoff on the 88, Maxwell right behind him, and there's Tom Drain again, the tailpipe glowing red. I think we're just gonna have to get used to that.
100%. They're doing something and it's working. You can see they've been fast all day, both of them. I think Drain just needs to continue to cut laps. He's still young and a rookie.
The time has expired. Next time by, Big P will hold the furled white and the furled green straight up in the air. That will mean 2 laps to go the next time by for the leaders. It's the one of Cody Kopp. Here he comes. He takes a look over his shoulders. 2 laps to go for the Red Bull KTM.
And just as we think it's done, Trevor Bruner just had his fastest lap of the race right there, and he's only 4/10. This is anybody's game still.
And don't forget, they're racing to the progressive checkered flags coming up right here. A lap and a half remaining here at Mineral Wells. Kopp in the lead. Bruner in second. Who's it going to be?
I don't know. I've got my money on Kopp because he's leading, but you just can never pick one right now. Bruner still, he's pushing everything he's got. He's got the fitness to the job as they go across for the white flag.
White flag is out. Cody Kopp one more time around this beautiful half mile. Bruner's in second. Ott's by himself now in the 3rd position. Bruner can see the leader. Yet, can he make anything happen on this last lap?
Honestly, I don't think so. Cody takes a look back right there. I think he's got it done. He's going to keep it super chill, but he can't give it too much up. But I think he's got this one done. Look, he already knows.
Cody Kopp off of turn number 4 will win at the West Virginia half mile. Kopp winning in your Parts Limited AMT Singles main event. Bruner is second. 3rd is James Ott. 4th is Chase Sadoff. And 5th is Max Whale.
Saturday, July 22nd, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing rumbles into New Jersey's Bridgeport Motorsports Park.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Kickstart your weekend with Progressive American Flat Track. It's the Bridgeport Half Mile at Bridgeport Motorsports Park in Swedesboro, New Jersey. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
The loyal order of riders, let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian.
Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
VP Racing Fuels. No matter what motorcycle you race or ride, amateur or pro, we have a fuel to make more power. Keep your bike running cool with VP Stay Frosty Coolin', available in 2 formulas. Race ready, designed to be glycol-free and track approved, and high performance with freeze protection for street applications. Visit vpracingfuels.com to learn more.
Mobile View has been providing state-of-the-art LED video screens to sporting and special events throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1999. We use our vast experience of thousands of events to help guide the process of finding the right size screen to help make your event a memorable experience for your fans and sponsors.
SBS is the official brake sponsor of Progressive American Flat Track, your single source of brake components for motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs in racing, off-road, and for street use. Try the improved brake performance of the all-new SBS Better Brake Series. Find the brake pads, rotors, and clutch kits that match your bike on sbsbrakes.com. There's a reason why SBS is the preferred choice of street kings and race champions alike. Go ahead. Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Brought to you by Yamaha. On the track, on the trail, or out on the open road. Check out Yamaha's full line of class-defining, adventure-seeking motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-side vehicles at YamahaMotorsports.com. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Singles Challenge. No holds barred, winner takes all dash for cash. The payout? A cool $2,500. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda. Riding red since 1977. DallasHonda.com. Progressive is proud to be America's #1 motorcycle insurer, protecting 1 out of every 3 insured riders. And they also offer coverage for your boat, RV, and other adventure vehicles. Quote motorcycle insurance online in as little as 3 minutes or bundle your insurance together today.
Parts Unlimited, the people behind We Support the Sport, welcome you to this high-action event. We are proud to join with race fans everywhere in working to ensure that our sport gets bigger and more exciting each season. And you too can support the sport by visiting your local dealer who stocks products from Parts Unlimited. They've got the very best in high-performance parts and accessories and the best support network in the business. Parts Unlimited. We support the sport.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Orange County Half Mile. We're at the Orange County Fair Speedway in Middletown, New York. Bikes are rolling onto the racetrack. It is round number 12 of Progressive American Flat Track. I'm Scotty Dubler. Welcome to New York. Bikes are rolling right now. First group of practices on the racetrack. 2 rounds of practice for the Super Twins and for the AFT Singles. Mission Super Twins going out there for the very first time. There's a look at the 32 Dallas Daniels. Also on the track is the 1 Jared Meese, the 3 Briar Bauman, the 95 JD Beach, 67 Davis Fisher, 44 Brandon Robinson, 20 Jared Vandekoy, 37 Bronson Bauman, 36 Kobe Carlisle, 25 Ben Loud, the 10 is Johnny Lewis, and the 62 it's too tall, Dan Bromley, Dan the Man. Making another appearance here with us 2 weeks in a row. Get to see Bromley. First time we've been here in 35 years. Last time there was a national hero, Scotty Parker took the win. Jared Meese was 2 years old. Put that in perspective of how things have changed. About a 5/8 mile. It's a very, very big half mile. You can see they're making their way into 3 and 4. Now here comes Meese sneaking up the bottom off of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Breyer's right there in tow on the 3 bike. Now Dallas is going to go up the racetrack a little bit, and he's looking for that higher line. He'll get back in line, trying to get in behind Meese, but he's going to cut off the 3 of Briar Bauman. Breyer's the quickest lap so far, 2:06.250. A lot of the riders, a lot of the teams said the track is about the same size as last weekend, but the difference is last weekend it was a very high banked racetrack in the corners. And the 3 was right there behind these 2, and he's kind of slipped off the pace. There he is. Maybe he got out of the way, wanted to run at the back of the pack by himself. There's the 36 Kobe Carlisle. There's Johnny Lewis on the 10. That's the Royal Enfield. He's up to second quick, 2:06.425 for Johnny Lewis. Still developing this motorcycle in their 4th year. This is the first year up here in Progressive American Flat Track, moving into the premier class, the Mission Super Twins. And now Meese goes into second. Lewis slides back to 3rd. At the same time, Lewis slides to 4th. And at the same time, even down 1 more spot. So it doesn't take long for these teams to get up to full speed. Now Lewis to the top spot. The 10 bike to the head of the class. 2:06.232 for the number 10 Royal Enfield. He's running the very bottom of the racetrack, which is the shorter way around. Checkered flag is out. Round 1, Group 1 of practice. 2:06.232 for Johnny Lewis. That's the Royal Enfield. The KTM of Briar Bauman second, 2:06.250. Last night there was an amateur program. Most of the riders are right there on the bottom of the racetrack and in the middle, and I've heard a line developed late last night in the high line. So we'll see where this track continues to run. But the fastest way around right now, Johnny Lewis running around the bottom of the racetrack. There's JL10. Squid riding right there a little bit. Look at him go. That means he's feeling good. He's feeling how fast he's going out there. Again, for you fans that are here, welcome. Beautiful facility. You can see the grassy hill on the back straightaway side. They're parking their cars back there. There's a lot of bikes already pulled up over here on the front side. Just ran out there and grabbed some ice cream. It's a look from the Progressive Skycam. That was group number 1 of your Mission Super Twins. Bikes are rolling on the racetrack. This is group number 2 of your Mission Super Twins. 109, Billy Ross. 61, Casey Sisko, the only Harley-Davidson racing tonight. 223, Jeffrey Lowry. 94, Ryan Wells. 34, Cameron Smith. 17, Henry Wiles. 47, Michael Hill. 92, Brandon Price, and he's back on the Ryan Barnes Schaefer's Motorsports KTM. Number 92 is all in Brandon Price. 96, Cody Johncox. 22 is Mitch Harvitt. 77, Jordan Harrison. The 16 is Garrett Wilson. Those are the riders scheduled to be on the racetrack this time. This is group number 2. 24 total entries here today. The fastest 18 riders will make it into the main event. They will all qualify into heat races here tonight. There goes Jeffrey Larry, the 223. Riding a Buck and Bronco a little bit coming off of turn number 2. He set some really quick qualifying laps this week. There's the Bissell Michael Hill. Look at the long back straightaway. There's Price on the 92, John Cox. Harvitt on the 22, and Garrett Wilson on the 16. Mother Nature did dump some water on the racetrack last night with a big thunderstorm. We've been chasing the racetrack all day today. There's Lowry on the 223. Ohio rider. Lowry Racing Products make some beautiful racing wheels. A lot of the teams out there have them now on that 223 bike. On the back straightaway. There's Billy the Kid, Billy Ross on the 109, riding a Kawasaki now. We're zooming in on Lowry on his 223 Yamaha. He goes up the racetrack just a little bit, coming onto the front straightaway. Flagman right there in the shorts, that is Big P, Patrick. And assistant flagman is Raymond Rizzo, who is our racing chaplain. 77 on the racetrack, Jordan Harris just celebrated a birthday. Happy birthday to the coal miner. He's back there in the 20th spot so far. Fastest bike on the racetrack looks like Jeffrey Lowry, the 223. No, make that the 17 of Henry Wiles. His 3rd race of the season with us is right here today. He's on the 17 bike. He's up to 9th. Cameron Smith jumps up to 13th on that lap. They're all chasing Johnny Lewis on the Royal Enfield. 26.232 for Johnny Lewis. Checkered flag is out. Speedy shot right here on the front straightaway. Looks like they're already arcing into the corner when they go across the start-finish line right here. Three classes will be racing with us here tonight at the Orange County Half Mile. 2 AFT classes, and the Grand National Hooligan Championship Series is along with us. Top 5 of the Super Twins, Johnny Lewis, 26.232 on the Royal Enfield. The 3 of Briar Bauman, the 1 Jared Meese, 67 Davis Fisher, and the 44 Brandon Robinson. That's your top 5 after our first round of practice. Up next, we'll go into our Parts Limited AFT singles class. 2 rounds of practice for that group as well. 31 total entries here today. There'll be 2 groups in their practice sessions. 16 riders in the first one and 15 in group number 2. And just like the Super Twins, they come out according to their point standings. The 1 of Cody Kopp, defending champion and defending race winner last weekend at Mineral Wells, should lead him out. The 18 is Maxwell. Cody Kopp is on the 1. His teammate Maxwell is up to 2nd in the point standings. He's on the 18 KTM. 88 Chase Sadoff on the Honda. 21 Trevor Bruner on a Yamaha. 79 Dalton Gautier on a KTM. 48 Trent Lowe. 59 Tom Drain. 13 Morgan Mishler. 19 James Ott. His teammates the 49er Chad Coast. 82 Travis Pettin from California. 91 Justin Jones from New York. 52 Shane That's Extra Bauman. 51 Cole Zabala. Jared Lowe's on the 63, and Aiden Roos Evans is on that 26. Those are the bikes on the racetrack. There's the 1 Kopp out in front. He was out here last night just watching what was going on the racetrack. Long straightaways here, about a 5/8 miles, actually listed as a half mile. It's a little bit big for a half mile, maybe around the very bottom might be a half mile, a little bit bigger, possibly even as big as a 5/8. Top down shifting going into turn number 1. Here comes Sadoff on the 88. Bruner's at the top spot so far, 2:6.078. Kopp out in front on the racetrack, and he is currently 6th on the speed charts. There's a look at the times. Bruner on the Yamaha. His teammate was out there behind him. Now Sadoff. Now Bruner goes back to the top spot, 2:5.964. So the track getting worked in. Bruner, the first bike in the 25-second range out here today. 2:5.964. There goes Sadoff, the 88. Still looking for his first ever Parts Limited AFT singles win in his 2nd season. Bruner right there behind him. A couple of guys grew up racing each other week in and week out. Now Kopp goes to the head of the class. Now at the same time, Tom Drain goes even faster, 2:5.934. They're changing every second, every time they go across the start-finish line. So Yamaha's at the top spot, KTM 2nd, Yamaha 3rd. The Husqvarna, James Odd up there in that 4th position. White flag is out. One more lap to go in this first group of practice. 2 groups for the Parts Limited AFT singles class for practice and for qualifying, and 2 rounds of practice as well. Tom Drain even faster. The 59 young Australian goes at 2:5.770. He's up the inside of the 21 of Bruner. That's his teammate. Now he slips a little bit wide. These 2 Yamahas are flying out here today. So far, it's early. Checkered flag is out. Drain that time with 2:5.955 as he's mixing it up with his teammate. But Tom Drain at the top spot. 1 more group to go in this first round of practice. A 2:5.770. They are faster than the Super Twins. Super Twins were out there on a brand new racetrack, and the track's starting to work in. Looks like a little bit of rubber going down. Group number 2 is staged up and ready to go of your Parts Limited AFT singles, sponsored by Kicker. Group 2 sitting down there ready to go. 75, Terrence Santero, the 24, Hunter Bauer. 166, your Mobile View Rookie of the Year leader, Logan Eisenhard. 216, Declan Bender. 117, Landon Smith. 55, Tyler Raggio. 56 is Jordan Sheen. 186, Jacob Van de Kooi. 155, Olin Kistler, all the way from the other side of the country. 157, Ian Wolf. 14, Damon Ream from New York. 270 is Jess Reynolds. 149, Tragan Birdsong. 66, it's Freight Train, Logan McGrain. And the 107, that's red, Wyatt Vaughn. Those are the bikes on the racetrack. .166 was just on the screen. Logan Eisenhard, he is currently your Mobile View Rookie of the Year leader. There he is. The Waters Auto Body team. That team is based out of New York. Landon Smith up there, the 117. He wants that Rookie of the Year. They all want to put their name in the history books, and that's the best way to do it in the singles class. Either winning the championship, winning Rookie of the Year, and picking up a nice hefty paycheck. Special thanks to the folks from Mobile View. There's the 117, Landon Smith. He's from Pensacola, Florida. Eisenhard from Pennsylvania. Landon Smith from Pensacola, Florida. So a couple East Coast guys. One from Florida, though, way down south. One from nearby. This is group number 2. Doesn't mean they're slower riders, just means that they haven't done as well or gained as many points as the first group. They come out according to the point standings. Shayna Texter Bauman 17th. Declan Bender jumps up there to the 18th spot for 216. This is his rookie season as well. Usually the 3-digit numbers will mean you're a rookie or you're either making a return back to flat track. Hopefully you make main events, get some points. Next year you'll have a double-digit number. 55 Raggio just going by. on the Rackley Racing entry. There's 157 Ian Wolf. Big P gets his white flag out, getting ready to display it. Orange County Fair Speedway. There's the white flag coming out. And 1 lap to go for the 24. Hunter Bauer, he's riding for the Big R Racing team. His teammate is the 51 of Zabala. It's a good look from our Progressive Skycam. We're pitting in the infield here today. There'll be an open paddock area a little bit later on tonight. The open pit area is scheduled for about 6:35 or so to about 7:25. And the only way to get there is going right across that start-finish line. Goes straight across into the pit area. Something unique here to Progressive American Flat Track right before they get suited up for their heat races here this evening as a checkered flag is out. Group number 2, first round of practice for your Parts Limited AFT Singles, sponsored by Kicker Class. They slow down on that back straightaway and they come on and off the racetrack in the exact same spot, just about halfway down the front straight. All right, like I said just a few moments ago, there is a third class here with us at the Orange County Half Mile, and that is the Grand National Hooligan Championship Series. They are staged up and ready to roll onto the racetrack. Kristen Beat, she told us where the ice cream was as she came with an ice cream cone, so I had to go get some. And the Hooligans are rolling on the racetrack, and I'm still enjoying my ice cream. Kristen Beat, how did you find the ice cream truck so fast today?
Oh, let me tell you, there are a few things that I am keen on finding, and ice cream is one of them. I was so excited to see a soft serve, and I got sprinkles. Did you get sprinkles?
I had sprinkles. I got a vanilla shake because I didn't want the mess going down my arm when I'm trying to.
How do sprinkles boat in a shake? I've never done that before.
They're good if you want to try it. I mean, they're not too bad.
I feel like it reminds me, like sprinkles sometimes remind me of little ants, especially when you get the chocolate ones. So I'm trying to do like the rainbow sprinkles, and I told her just a small spoon.
All right. So there, the Hooligan Series is coming out. They're going to get a little practice start. There's Sean Raggio on the 155. There is Sean Bear on that BMW number 18. There's the Rocket Ron Wood number 88. 82 out there is Woodrick. 143 is Bob Reese. Usually he's number 43, but today he's running 143. He's on a Yamaha. The 88, I said, is Ron Wood. It looks like Swartley's on a 125. DeSantis on the 421. Ames is on the 312. Weiss is on the 61. Maloney is on the 76. Kenny Dolan, the machine, is on number 8. Looks like Price is on the 64. Ben Ludlow's on the 26. And running the Monroney's Harley-Davidson colors is the 84 of Andy Moreno Jr. There's the Rocket Ron Wood, the 88 bike. Listed here on a Harley-Davidson. Used to be national number 88. Had some good times watching him race. This is Hooligans. It's their practice session. Again, the blue number plates are riders from the Midwest. Yellows, riders from the South. Red are riders from the East Coast. And green number plates are riders from the West. This is a first round of practice for the Hooligans. They only get one round of practice, and then they'll go into their qualifying session. But the singles and the twins beat will have 2 rounds of practice.
Absolutely, and they're going to need every minute of those practice sessions. There really isn't a track similar to this on the schedule. It's an anomaly. We don't have a track, and I mean, it sounds silly saying this is an American flat track, but this is a very flat track, so there's no banking to catch the riders in the turns. Even these Hooligans riders, I'm surprised they're coming in with such a good setup off the truck, because I expect a lot of mistakes to be made tonight.
Yeah, especially early on, you know, and we're looking at this Monroney's Harley-Davidson. They've sponsored several riders throughout the history of American flat track racing, but brings back a lot of memories for sure. He's got the old school, the white top. You know, they've got the bright blue, and they got pink on, kind of like a Miami Vice colors.
I heard they have a cooler filled to the top with PBR, which I was invited to partake in after this race is over. I know you're a Dr. Pepper guy, but I'm really excited. And they actually shot a really fun special feature because backstory on the Maronis, obviously they've been around this for a long, long, long time, but back in the day when Jared Meese was riding 85s and 125s, Pat Maroney noticed a little rider named Jared Meese out on track, and he said, "You want to come race for me?" It was Jared Meese's first opportunity to consider racing as a potential career.
That's amazing.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's
and so,
such a cool
you know,
story.
I asked Pat, I was like, what impressed you about Jared? He said, I just knew he had it. He was special. And I mean, almost 8 championships later for Jared Mees. I mean, that is a pretty remarkable story. And it all started right here at Orange County Fair Speedway. It happened right here at this track.
And the last time American Flat Track was here was actually 35 years ago. So Jared would have been 2, but he was about 10 years old.
You would have been like 20, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. I was old. I'm old. I know that for sure. The checkered
Brad,
flag
our
is
producer,
out.
just gets mad and he goes, easy, Kristen.
So that was our first group out there in practice. And Sean Bear on that BMW 27.021.
I love seeing the BMW out there, by the way.
It sounds so different.
So I've heard some mumbles, Scotty. Some secret mumbles regarding the BMW's potential appearance in this series down the road. And I mean,
it could happen.
We saw what Royal Enfield did in a short amount of time, and I can only imagine that BMW would eclipse that quite quickly.
It definitely could, especially, you know, they had to. They actually hurt one of the motors at the Barbara Fritchie Classic that runs every 4th of July. So the head gasket started leaking and had some blow by, and so I actually got to wave the black flag. Unfortunately, that's not the flag I wanted to wave. I know, but
were you the flagger there?
No, I was just helping out because I'm on the front straightaway to do your job, to do interviews. And actually, I grabbed the black flag because I didn't want him to blow up that motorcycle because it was blowing coolant and making a mess. And I was trying to actually help him save that motor, and it had 2 laps to go. And I was giving him a hard time about it just a little while ago earlier today when I was walking through the pits. But
I bet you made it a pretty flag, girl.
Yeah, something like that.
So Weidenberger on my Instagram just asked, can my man Jared Mees win here tonight?
What's that?
I was asked on Instagram. I was asked on the socials. Can my man Jared Mees win tonight? What do you think about that?
I think he can, and it's going to depend on what the track does. If the track stays, I've heard it's slippery. Even when it's brushed off, it's still slippery.
It's like 7 different kinds of clay.
Right. If he gets the traction, if he can get hooked up coming off the corners, he should be just fine. You know, the other option, though, is if the high line comes in like it did late last night, that would be good for the BMW and for the Yamaha. So we'll see what the track does. You know, there was a threat of, weather in the area, so there was not a lot of moisture down, just like we had last week. Now the sun's out. Now it's baking and drying out the track. But, yeah, Mees has a good shot, and he is a half-mile car specialist. Is there to go out to sprinkle some water on the racetrack right now.
But you know who is racing with a target on their back right now, and that is Dallas Daniels. Only 5 points. 5 points,
yeah,
Scotty. 5 points in front of Jared Mees.
It's a blink of the eye.
And, I sat down with him, with Dallas, and his dad, Nick Daniels, and they were kind of strategizing. And I think Dallas is so well-conditioned and poised to be in the position that he is in now because he has raced this way his whole life. He told me that from the get-go. He had always been so naturally talented. He had that target on his back. So I asked him, how are you coping with this pressure? You have the 8-time champ breathing down your neck right now, 5 points away. And he's like, I'm not worried about it. And you can usually tell by their body posture and how they respond to those questions if they're really worried about it or not.
Right.
He was authentically not worried. And I mean, the 2 TTs on the schedule coming up also give him a little more confidence.
And that's good. Try not to worry about Jared. You got to worry about the races that are coming up and what's in front of you. Do what you can to beat that guy, yes, but don't worry about the points right now. It's easy to say. It's easier said than done for sure, but try to focus on your task at hand. Finish every race in front of him.
Bartingi on my Instagram says KTM is gathering momentum, and I happen to agree with him.
Yeah, especially, Cody's so good on the car tracks as well, so he's got a lot of momentum, but I appreciate all the feedback coming in on your Instagram. We're going to take a quick break real quick. When we come back, second round of practice coming up in the Super Twins class. When we come back, the Adirondacks out here in New York. We'll be right back. Second round of practice up next.
Let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Denied.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian.
Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods, a proud sponsor of AFT Super Twins. Mission Foods has mouth-watering snacks and easy-to-make recipes to fuel your race day. Now that's too fast, too tasty. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com. Kicker Performance Audio is your fuel for living loud and a proud sponsor of American Flat Track, the original extreme sport. Now in our 50th year, Kicker has been the world leader in audio gear for cars, trucks, motorcycles, and America's roads. Kicker Audio is living loud. Lincoln Welders is the official welder of American Flat Track Racing. When it comes to welding, cutting equipment, and safety apparel, Lincoln Electric is the choice. Go to LincolnElectric.com for all your welding, cutting, and safety apparel needs. And remember to hashtag WeldRed with all your projects. 2 short years ago, Honda released the Rebel 1100, and for 2023, they're introducing the all-new Rebel 1100T, equipped with a large, color-matched handlebar-mounted fairing and 35 liters of lockable storage. It's built for the open road. The standard and bagger models both start with a powerful twin-cylinder engine, so they sound as aggressive as they look. Head to a dealer to see the 2023 Honda Rebel 1100 and 1100T.
Memphis Shades brings you a whole new level of style when it comes to motorcycle windshields and fairings. The quality, style, and selection set these products apart from the pack. Memphis Shades designs and builds all windshields, fairings, and hardware in-house. Raw materials in, finished goods out. Made in Memphis. Style that works.
Sideburn is the world's finest Go Fast, Turn Left magazine. It's available to buy at Progressive AFT's Marketplace and is the official magazine of Progressive American Flat Track. For more information, visit sideburnmagazine.com. SolarFit, America's solar team, is a proud sponsor of American Flat Track Racing. Get your complimentary solar analysis today at americanflattrack.com/solarfit. And let the sun power your home or business for free. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Singles Challenge. No holds barred, winner takes all dash for cash. The payout, a cool $2,500. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda, riding red since 1977. DallasHonda.com.
Introducing the all-new 2021 Rebel 1100 from Honda.
On Saturday, July 22nd, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing rumbles into New Jersey's Bridgeport Motorsports Park.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Kickstart your weekend with Progressive American Flat Track. It's the Bridgeport Half Mile at Bridgeport Motorsports Park in Swedesboro, New Jersey. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Progressive American Flat Track Championship season.
Kicker Performance Audio. For almost 50 years, we've been rocking the planet with our world-class product covering everything that drives you, whether in your car, truck, boat, motorcycle, side-by-side, or even on your head. Kicker Performance Audio's passion for bringing you your favorite music like you've never heard it before is what drives us. So wherever you need us, Kicker Performance Audio will be there for you.
SBS is the official brake sponsor of Progressive American Flat Track, your single source of brake components for motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs in racing, off-road, and for street use. Try the improved brake performance of the all-new SBS Better Brake Series. Find the brake pads, rotors, and clutch kits that match your bike on sbsbrakes.com. There's a reason why SBS is the preferred choice of street kings and race champions alike. Go ahead. Super 73 is an American lifestyle adventure brand based in Orange County, California, that develops products to help fuse motorcycle heritage with youth culture. Founded in 2016, Super 73 has quickly grown into one of the most recognizable electric vehicle brands in the world with a passionate customer base, including A-list celebrities, professional athletes, and many more. Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track and 8-time AFT national champion Jared Meese. Family owned and made in America since 1959, Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at klotzlube.com.
KTM, ready to race.
Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com.
Drag Specialties welcomes race fans. At Drag Specialties, our commitment to riding is a way of life. That's why we want to remind you that when you're ready to tackle maintenance or add performance and style to your ride, make your first stop a local dealer who stocks products from Drag Specialties. Drag Specialties. Enjoy the races.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
And welcome back to Orange County Half Mile. This was earlier today. Kristen, have you ever seen an ice cream truck stroll through the pits before?
I haven't, but that is a beautiful sight.
That's crazy.
What's your favorite popsicle? What are we looking at here?
I don't know. I'm more of an ice cream guy. I'm not a big popsicle guy.
Well,
What do you
there's ice
think?
creams. I would have 100% done the red, white, and blue pop.
Bikes are on the racetrack. Second round of practice for your Mission Super Twins. They all went out there together. Nobody's spacing each other out. Look at this, Kristen. Looks like a heat race.
But here's the thing, too. Of all the riders in the front, I am not surprised Johnny Lewis, the slide master.
Look at Brian.
Brian's like, see you later. What are you doing?
Says, go ahead, Tin. Go ahead, take off. Group number 1 on the track, 32 is Daniels. Right there on the screen is the 10 of Johnny Lewis. He was fastest in the first round of practice.
Johnny Lewis is one of those riders that is so adaptable, though. I'm not surprised to see him up front early on. And a flat, I mean, it sounds silly, but a flat track with no banking allows a more finesse-y style rider to thrive. And he is so good at Lima and more finesse-y track as well. So, I mean, not surprised at all that he's top of the boards.
And if he has, a shorter way around, he's run the bottom line, less wheel spin on that Royal Enfield, that might be the bike to beat here tonight. He's looking really strong. He's at 2.6.142. That's already 2/10. It looks like just about a 1/10 faster than they were in that first session. There's the 10 bike here. Watch him. This is going into turn 3 on the very first lap.
On the very first lap.
Of this practice session. And Breyer just looks over him and says, "What are you doing, dude?" And
now, is that an authority thing? Like, hey, if Breyer is in the position he's in points, if he's racing for a championship, if someone like Johnny Lewis, who has missed rounds this year, is coming in hot during a practice session,
just let him go. Just pull over, let him go. He knows that they all go back there and look at the times. They know that the 10 bike was fastest in the first round. So just let the 10 go. And he was, Breyer's wanting to go out there and see what it was like out front. In the meantime, he just says when the 10 went by like that, he just pulled out of the way, and he's now at the back of the pack. So he's got the same objective. Nobody right there in front of him. He's actually catching up to somebody else at the tail of the field. But, right now, Breyer's in there at 12th out of the 12 bikes that are on the track. So it definitely, slowed him down for just a little bit.
I'm always surprised to see who figures out their setup quickest. When we talk about riders who have great amenities, I think Jared Mees with Kenny Tolbert, I think Breyer Bauman, but to have Johnny Lewis, who really has a limited team, who's kind of a one-man band over there for the most part, for him to come out here on a track that is truly an anomaly on the schedule, it's really impressive for Johnny.
It's very impressive, especially because there's no notes on this racetrack. There's no notes on a track similar to this on the American Flat Track circuit. So now you have to rely on tracks that you've raced in the past. Is Johnny Lewis fastest in the 3, who's at the very back of the pack, moves all the way up to second on that last lap. And again, this is a second round of practice. The singles and the twins will both get 2 rounds of practice today.
And note, Jared Mees, the favorite coming into this round, down in 9th. And when I spoke with him earlier, he said that they were unloading with a package similar to the bike they raced on in Delaware years and years ago when he was still on the XG 750, but they are way, way off on setup at this point.
Yeah, that's a little bit slow and doing hand signals back and forth. Those two are good friends right there, so they're at the back of the pack.
Those are friendly hand signals, not the hand signals we talk about otherwise.
They're just kind of goofing around. But, there's no notes on this racetrack. I've been told it's about 2 to 3 teeth slower than last week, and you add more teeth to actually slow you down because it's so flat. With the high banks of last weekend, you could carry your momentum through the corners a little bit easier. Now it's flat. You almost have to, I'm not saying they're stopping the corners, but they're going slower in the corners than they were last weekend. So,
well, what they'll do too is coming off of a straightaway or a backstretch, they'll actually start to slow down sooner, and then they'll pick up speed and throttle up halfway through the turn just to kind of get through that turn.
Right.
And it's a completely different strategy than you might use. So some guys will try to power through the corners when you have that banking, but here without that banking, if you try to do that, you will lose it.
Right, and you have to, if there's a groove developing, it should be around the bottom right now. We heard late last night in the amateur program that a line developed at the top. Now I know why they're all at a big group, because they're all doing their practice start right here, and they're all taking off at the same time. In years past, they would send them out one at a time off that starting line. Now it seems like they're just letting go. So
now when it starts to get dusty out there, Scotty, does that mean slick?
It means dry, so it does mean slippery, yes. It will get harder and harder to get traction. You can see the rubber's going down, though, so that's more traction, but if there's a little bit of powder on that rubber, that is slippery, yes.
But what I'm noticing is some parts of the track we're seeing dust. Other parts we're seeing it chuck out because of the moisture.
Yeah.
How do you set up a bike? Do you set it up for the dry? Do you set it up for the wet? What do you do?
Depends on where you want to ride and where that line is. And you want to search for that moisture, but if it's too wet, you cannot ride in a spot where it's too wet. So it's a fine line. Where does your rider like to ride? For me, I would like to be on that blue groove, and I would like to be stuck to that blue groove. So I would set my bike up for that.
Yeah.
But if the high line comes in, if there's moisture up there, that's faster, and you got to set your bike up for that.
Check out these holes on the front stretch. And I don't know if we can get a shot of where the track is kind of chunking up going into 2. But, I mean, these holes that are developing, that's going to be a problem.
Well, and that's actually just past the start-finish line, Kristen, but that's where they're throwing it into the corner to help them slow down. So those will continue to chunk out, and there's some right there coming off of 4 as well. And that's just, from the heat and the
Where
and the
do you
track.
go, though? I mean,
you try to miss them if you can. If you can, you try to miss those little spots that are chunking up or coming apart right now. And you can see Wiles is doing a good job right there. He missed all those through 1 and 2. He's on the back straightaway, right?
We liked that low line that Johnny was running earlier,
yes.
But it looks like no one in this session is catching on to that. Is there a reason for that? Has it changed since Johnny was out there?
No, I think it's just different riders, and they're out there searching. Right now, the closest one to it is the 17, but he's got more momentum going into the corners. Now he's dropping to the very bottom, but again, he'll drift up the racetrack just a little bit, coming off it too, now onto this back straightaway, through the wet stuff, getting the traction. You can see the bike's dancing around a little bit, hitting these bumps. Yeah, a little skittery. I like that word. And
Dallas gave me that word.
He's at the top spot now. Henry Wiles. I've already wrote down Johnny Lewis. I'm sorry. Yeah, Henry Wiles now to the top spot with the 2.6.082. So he's feeling really good today.
How many ice cream cones would you bet me?
I like ice cream. You got my attention.
That we have a dark horse winner tonight, because I mean, when you look at the top 5, if you would have asked me coming into this round who would be in the top 5, I would probably not have said
Wiles.
4 of them. I wouldn't have said Wiles. I wouldn't have said Lewis.
Johnny Lewis.
I may not have even mentioned JD Beach, Colby Carlisle in 6th there, another dark horse. I mean, we are seeing a different kind of rider thrive at this track today.
But we need it. Nothing against Jared Mees, but yeah, let's shake up the point standings. We got Dallas has had a great season so far. Podium spot every round, 11 rounds in a row. This season the 32's been up there, but the 17 looks really strong out here today at 2.6.082, and that is a little bit faster than Johnny Lewis at 2.6.142. Breyer's 3rd, so an Indian, a Royal Enfield, a KTM. Let's go ahead and throw a 4th brand. Dallas Daniels 4th. The top 4 spots, 4 different brands of bikes. That is what we wanted here in Progressive American Flat Track.
I mean, you always want that parity, but also that, really says something about these smaller teams coming in. And sometimes that tends to be a story for me. Doing less is more, because a lot of these teams come in with their notebooks and they think that they have it figured out, but sometimes that confidence can bite you because you're coming in with this idea and you're not as flexible and you're making these small changes, whereas I know for a fact the Royal Enfield team, they throw everything but the kitchen sink. They will go from A to Z in one session.
And we also talked about what Jared Mees has in his back pocket is Kenny Tolbert. Well, what Henry Wiles has in his back pocket is Johnny Goad. He's also one of the winningest crew chiefs out there. So
Jared Mees also ran for him at one point in his career too.
Yeah, Jared rode for Johnny Goad. Yeah, exactly. So it all pays off. It all works out in the wash. But this first few rounds of practice, the track will continue to change, and it should change throughout the night. Here in just a little while, it'll kind of get set in as the singles are on the racetrack. Get your Parks Limited AFT Singles Class, sponsored by Kicker. And look at all of them taking off. It looks like we have 16 of them out there. So look at all these singles riders, and some of them going up the racetrack just a little bit. I like where Maxwell is right in the wet stuff, just off the bottom. One of the riders having a problem putting his hand up. Looks like Pettin possibly on the 82. They're searching through the field right now, trying to find a guy we want to talk about a little bit more this week, the 19 of James Ott, who is putting himself together, a good season. Got on the podium a couple times. There he is on the eye line going into one.
2 consecutive podiums for James Ott.
And his dad's building engines now, and I know that's something that you brought up on the conference call. That's huge, for Eric Hoyt and
it's a trust thing.
The team, the First Impressions team, switching brands at the end of last year and starting over, and they're having a great season.
Going to a Husqvarna was a big jump for that team, but in addition to that, James Ott told me for him in the last 2 starts, he's earned 2 podiums, and it was a confidence thing, reminding himself that he knows how to race from a bad start, race from a bad qualifying, because sometimes as a privateer, you're in that position where you're not in the front row, but knowing now that he has the ability and he has the bike underneath him to race through those obstacles that you face as a privateer, that's big. And look at that 1-2, Cody Kopp, Maxwell, top of the board right now.
And they're first and second in the point standings too, and they are dialed in on car tracks for sure. Cody Kopp probably a little bit more than Maxwell. Max looks really strong though. Drain moves into second right there on that lap, and his teammate Bruner comes up to 4th. So they're getting it figured out, and I like where Max is running. Even though it's 3rd quick, he's running in a little bit darker stuff. Cody's going underneath it, but look, there goes Maxwell right here. He's just at the edge of the groove as we start talking about it. Yes, we start talking about it, now he's going down to the very bottom of the racetrack, but he was running a little bit higher lines, and I like what he's doing too. He's searching around for the fast way around. Max going in higher. There's Tom Drain on the bottom. So 2 different lines
and
going into
Max.
one.
Max really needs to secure a win at this point in the season. The window of opportunity is closing, and when I spoke with Chris Fillmore, they've actually been trying to motivate Max in different ways. So not only did they send him some podcasts to listen to, they talked to him about maybe going to a sports psychologist, but ways to get him back into a winning mindset, and that's so important.
Well, it is too, especially when your teammate's winning almost every week. How is it Is it motivating to Max that your teammate's doing so good, or is it distraction? You know, is it taking away from your ability to go out there and do well? And it's a hard spot that he's in. You know, he knows that bike is capable. His teammate about the same height. I know Max is about 6'5". Cody's about 6'2" or 6'3".
Non-mile expert
non-mile bodies.
Non-mile bodies.
Yeah, checkered flag is out. And it looked like the 82 is off the pace again still. It's Travis Pettin. Another rider way off the pace is Morgan Mishler. 16 bikes around the racetrack, and Mishler is back in the 16th spot.
And I'm going to go follow up on that, Scotty. So I'm going to depart the booth and allow
go have some more ice cream.
Listen.
I'm just saying.
I'm onto the cheese fries now.
Really? Man. Now she's just making me jealous in here, you know. So
it's cheese fry time.
Kristen B's going back outside to do.
I need to go in and catch up with Mr. Tom Drain and Mr. James Ott.
And see what's going on with that little 13 guy.
Where is Morgan? Because, I mean, traditionally, this would have been another Morgan Mishler track.
And I had Sadoff picked as my winner of this one. He's back there 9th right now. They could have
Turner Racing Hondas are off the pace. Chad Coase up there in 6th. That was a good run for him. But this singles class is stacked no matter which way you want to stack it. And anyway, I'm going to let Ralph back in the booth. Just keeping it warm for you guys.
That's Kristen Beat. She'll be back a little bit later on during opening ceremonies. Again, the open paddock area here today is coming up from 6:35 until 7:25. Kristen, always welcome up here in the booth as we get the show rolling out here today. Ralph Shaheen's going to step in. They were in England last weekend doing World Supercross, so welcome back to Kristen Beat. Group number 2 will roll onto the racetrack here in just a second. As a matter of fact, they already are on the front straightaway. 75, Taryn Santero. The 24 is Hunter Bauer. 166, your Rookie of the Year is Logan Eisenhard. He's the leader right now. Declan Bender's on the 216. Landon Smith, 117. Tyler Raggio, 55. Jordan Jeans on the 56. Van de Kooi, the 186. That's Jacob Van de Kooi. 155, Olin Kessler. 157, Ian Wolf. 14, Damon Ream. 270 is Jess Reynolds. She's from Pennsylvania. 149, Tragan Birdsong. 66, it's Logan McGrain, your current ice racing world champion. And the 107, Wyatt Vaughn. They call him Red. Those are the bikes on the racetrack. Second and final round of practice. The next time the singles riders will come out will be qualifying time out here today. There's the 24, Hunter Bauer, again riding for the Big R racing team. Big R and Little Deb racing team. He goes way up the racetrack. Again, 2 different lines going into 1 and 2. You can go in that high line, square it off, and then come off the bottom, or you can go in on the bottom and stay on the bottom, it looks like. It's what's developing so far. There is your Rookie of the Year leader, the 166, his first season out here in Progressive American Flat Track. And 216 right behind him, Declan Bender. He's made about 4 main events here so far this season. The first 11 rounds. This is round number 12 here tonight. Back at Middletown, New York. It's the Orange County Fair Speedway. 2 KTMs at the top 2 spots. Cody Kopp and Maxwell, they were in group number 1. Fastest on the racetrack right now appears to be the 24, Hunter Bauer, Canadian rider. There's the 55 of Raggio. 56, Jordan Jean. There is McGrain. Here comes the 157, Ian Wolf. He's another tall rider from Mansfield, Ohio. Don't know if that's a benefit out here or not to be tall. Have some leverage out here on the racetrack. So far it's worked out for Cody Kopp and Maxwell. They're first and second here in this second round of practice. So earlier today, a few moments ago, we saw Kristen Beek was up here. And welcome back to the United States and welcome to Middletown, New York. It's Ralph Shaheen. Ralph, welcome.
Thank you, buddy. How are you?
I'm great, man. The ice cream was fantastic.
Sure was, wasn't it?
Yeah. A couple of riders.
Nothing wrong with soft serve.
I think there needs to be ice cream at every racetrack.
I'd be up for that.
I think we need to make that happen. That could be like my slogan.
I would move from the heavyweight division to the super heavyweight division if there was.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, we're catching up the tree slowly.
El Grandito.
Grand Toti. Yeah, he's got to put it on our cheat sheet up here so we can know what his. We can give out his email to everybody so everybody can start emailing him. There's your Mobile View Rookie of the Year leader, 166 Logan Eisenhard from Pennsylvania, riding for the Waters Auto Body team. They help the up-and-comers in Progressive American Flat Track get some seat time and get faster and earn themselves rides in the Super Twins. Checkered flag is out, so Cody Kopp fastest here in this second round of practice with a 2.5.8 1:08.76, so about 1/10 slower than Drain was in that first round of practice. And they are faster than the Super Twins. Not surprised. Less wheel spin, less weight.
Yeah.
So with a couple of reasons, yeah, it's easier definitely to get hooked up when your bike weighs that much less and has less horsepower. It's easier to get hooked up and drive off the corner. So
I haven't felt hooked up all day today.
You haven't? Well, maybe you need another ice cream.
Well, it couldn't hurt.
There's Cody Kopp, quick time here in our second round of practice, 2:05.876.
You cheated, though, by the way.
I
went
ran
with the milkshake.
and went with the shake. Yeah, that way it wasn't dripping down my hands.
Yeah, but that's the challenge of the whole thing, man. It's summer.
Yeah, I'm not in for that challenge.
It's got to be a mess.
Not in for that challenge. I wanted to stay. I got to look good. I have an image.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's getting deep in here.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing we're on the high end of the truck. Yeah, it's higher over here on this side. Bikes are already rolling onto the racetrack. That means Grand National Hooligan Championship Series are moving out there. 14 total entries. They'll be all in one heat race, and they will all make one main event. That's going to be a big group of riders, Ralph.
Yeah, that's going to be a packed field for sure on a half mile.
Yep. The 155 is Raggio. The 18 Sean Bear on that BMW. The 82 is Woodrick.
That BMW is a bad bike, isn't it?
That thing is fast. 143 is Bob Reese. He's on 143 because 43 was already taken. 88 is the Rocket Ron Wood. The 125 is Swartley. 421 is DeSantis. 312 is Ames. 61 is Weiss. 76 is Maloney Jr. 8 is Kenny Dolan. 64 is Georgie Price. 26 is Ben Ludlow. And the 84 with the Maroney's colors out there is Andrew Moreno Jr. Big hooligans out here. Raggio's on that 155. There's the BMW, the 18. That thing I said it was a two-stroke at Lima. It is not. It's actually a four-stroke. It's an 800cc BMW with side-by-side pistons going up and down very similar at times, but firing at different times. It's a very unique motorcycle. There's the 143 of Reese. His wife races in the Build Train Race program. That's Mia Reese. She runs number 15.
Oh, that's right.
Bob Reese runs the 143 because the 43 was taken. I believe Joe Kopp has the 43 number in the Hooligan Championship Series. There's the 26 of Ludlow. He's a fast rider. There's the 88 of the Rocket Ron Wood. It's listed here on a Harley-Davidson. I'll run up the racetrack just a little bit. Last night they even had four-wheelers out here, Ralph. And there was a couple of two-stroke 250s out there just singing. Sean Bear to the top spot, 26.678. Kevin Maloney goes into second. Raggio third. Ron Wood is fourth. And the Maroney's Harley-Davidson up there in the fifth spot, the 84 of Andy Moreno. Ron Wood was always fun to watch on the Grand National Circuit, number 88. His daughter's going to sing the national anthem a little bit later on.
She's your best friend, right?
Yeah, she is my best friend. Tommy Duma just tuning in on fanschoice.tv and on Facebook. Checkered flag is out for the 18 of Sean Bear, catching up to one of the back markers right there. That was their second round. Actually, that is their qualifying time for the Hooligans. So they had a P1, that was Q1. The 18, Sean Bear, 26.678. He was the winner at the Lima half mile. Maloney second up here, 26.966. So not as big of a statement out here for the 18 this time. Raggio third, 27.192. Ron Wood on the 88, 27.228 on the cool down lap down that back straightaway. Andy Moreno Jr. right there, the 84. That's the Maroney's Harley-Davidson. Has the old school colors, and one of the bikes having an issue right there in the middle of 3 and 4. Looks like pulled off a little bit early. Looks like mostly Harley-Davidsons out here in this one. BMW, one Yamaha, one Triumph. The 26 listed here is a Triumph. That's Ben Ludlow. There it is. Sean Bear, 26.678, just ahead of Maloney, 26.966. Raggio, third. California rider, now lives in Georgia, 27.192. Ron Wood from Pennsylvania, 27.228. Andrew Moreno Jr., 27.806. So 11 bikes took times. 3 bikes did not make it out there, including the 64, Georgie Price. Either that or his transponder wasn't working. So they'll get that sorted out. That's it for qualifying for your Hooligans. We'll take a break, and when we come back, it'll be qualifying time. Mission Super Twins are up next, followed by the singles. We're here at Orange County Fair Speedway, Middletown, New York. We will be right back for some qualifying.
Introducing the all-new 2021 Rebel 1100 from Honda.
Sometimes you just don't need one of these. Sometimes all you really need is one of these. Rent whatever you need from people who do whatever it takes. Go to catrentalstore.com. Let's do the work.
S&S Cycle was born from a passion for racing and has spent over 60 years building high performance for the power sports market. All the while, racing has remained at our core. From the Bonneville Salt Flats to championships in progressive American flat track, S&S is the go-to for high performance on and off the racetrack.
Tom Duma Fine Jewelers is proud to be the official jeweler for our 10th year to Progressive American Flat Track, providing championship rings for each class in 2023. Tom Duma Fine Jewelers wants to be your jeweler. Check us out online for all your jewelry needs, from engagement rings to fashion jewelry to watches, in all price points to fit everyone's budget. Shop like a pro. Shop TDFJ.com. Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Back on Track, a Rookies of 79 501c3 charity, was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Please consider supporting injured racers by purchasing a 50/50 ticket at today's event. Check us out on the web at backontrack79.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life. Rent tools and equipment from more than 70 leading brands, plus the full line of CAT machines, big and small. The right equipment, the right technology, the right team. All right when and where you need it. Visit catrentalstore.com.
Light Shoe has been building quality steel shoes for flat track racers since 1998. They serve the flat track community worldwide, building custom hot shoes to fit individual needs with the rider's unique style in mind. With more than 25 years of experience and a 1-year unconditional guarantee, you'll know you've made the right choice when your foot touches the ground going into turn 1. Join the Light Shoe crew. You'll be glad you did.
When you think of a ride, you think of quality. When it comes to hitting the ground and protecting your head, I wouldn't wear anything else. The design of it is round and smooth, so when you're rolling through the dirt, your helmet doesn't catch the dirt and hurt your neck. Safety in flat track and motorsports in general is probably the biggest concern. Obviously, we're all here to win. At the end of the day, we're all concerned about our well-being, and for that, you want to have the best gear on, you know, and for me, a rye is the best choice.
Cometic Gasket is the official gasket of American Flat Track. For decades, American Flat Track champions have depended on Cometic to seal their engines. Cometic gaskets are the professional standard for racers who demand the very best. For more information, log on to Cometic.com. Cometic Gasket, sealing champions since 1989. Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track and 8-time AFT national champion Jared Meese. Family owned and made in America since 1959, Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at KlotzLube.com.
Mobile View has been providing state-of-the-art LED video screens to sporting and special events throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1999. We use our vast experience of thousands of events to help guide the process of finding the right size screen to help make your event a memorable experience for your fans and sponsors. A Rye helmet started racing in America in flat track, and we've been supporting it ever since. A Rye, handcrafted with an obsessive dedication to rider protection. For more information, please visit our website, arryamericas.com.
Rent tools and equipment from more than 70 leading brands, plus the full line of CAT machines, big and small. The right equipment, the right technology, the right team. All right when and where you need it. Visit catrentalstore.com. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com.
This year sees Royal Enfield return for an all-new season of Build, Train, Race, and a big step forward for the Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield team. For the first time, Royal Enfield steps into the premier class for a full season of AFT racing, this time with a 2-rider team. Meet the racers and check out the machines of both of Royal Enfield's groundbreaking programs. Light Shoe has been building quality steel shoes for flat track racers since 1998. They serve the flat track community worldwide, building custom hot shoes to fit individual needs with the rider's unique style in mind. With more than 25 years of experience and a 1-year unconditional guarantee, you'll know you've made the right choice when your foot touches the ground going into turn 1. Join the Light Shoe crew. You'll be glad you did. Morgan's Place is a non-profit campground guiding full recovery from injury. Morgan Monroe was injured while racing in 2016 and began the organization to spread hope that healing is possible. For more information or to get involved, please visit their website, morgansplace.org.
From the flat track to the strip to the street, it's ARP fasteners for your bike. If it's for show or for go, ARP makes the highest quality and most dependable fasteners with strength for performance and good looks. The speed demons of American flat track racing trust ARP for maximum clamping force that leads to victory lane. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com, no matter what you drive.
DCT is an automatic transmission. You heard right. The Honda DCT is a fully automatic transmission for a motorcycle. It'll shift faster than you can, at the right time, right speed, and right RPM. And when you want to shift for yourself, use paddle shifters mounted on the left handlebar. Take a DCT demo on a new Honda Africa Twin and other available models. Schedule your DCT demo right now at Al Lamb's Dallas Honda.
Beautiful scenery up here in New York tonight. It's the Orange County Half Mile, Middletown, New York. Ralph, what do you think so far?
I think it's going to be an interesting night. Of course, this facility, well known for big block modifieds and stock car racing and stuff, has a long history with that. Even horse racing here. We don't have a lot of history with motorcycles, obviously, but we hope to start that here tonight and keep it going forward.
We've been here 4 times before. The last was 35
right?
years ago, back when you were just a pup.
Yeah, that almost doesn't count, right? So we start all over again, really.
Yeah, Scotty Parker took the win in 1988. Ronnie Jones, our good friend, he won here in 1987 on a Honda. 1979, Randy Goss won on a Harley-Davidson, and Mike Kidd won in 1977. So 3 former Grand National champions have won here.
Yeah, all good buddies, all great racers, and beautiful scenery up here too, huh? Just looking off into the scenes back behind the racetrack here. Such a beautiful area when you start making your way into upstate New York.
Looking at the point standings for your Parts Limited AFT Singles, Cody Kopp with 5 wins, a 40-point lead now over Maxwell. Chase Sadoff up there in that 3rd spot, tied with Trevor Bruner for 3rd. 4th is Bruner, like I just said, tied for 3rd. Dalton Gauthier rounds out your top 5.
All right, well, let's take a look at the Mission Super Twins. See how they're doing.
It's getting really close as we're looking at the pit area on the back side. There's Van de Kooi. Looks like they're pretty happy with what they got, or they're thinking about making some changes. So JB20 talking things over. That's Jay Maloney on the left side. There you go.
They are. Hasn't been that close since we were in Daytona.
Yeah, at the start of the season. Ever since then, it got
Man,
really
that seems
big.
like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was just back in March, but now it's 5 points between 1st and 2nd, but they got a hefty lead, 50-point lead over Breyer back there in that 3rd spot with 1 win. So far, only 4 different riders have won here in the Mission Super Twins. Davis Fisher looking for his first one, was looking really strong last weekend, and right off the start last weekend, went about 3 feet. He said, I wasn't going anywhere, had the wheel spin, slid backwards, and hit a wet spot in the front end, came straight up. He had to chop that throttle. Otherwise, that could be a little bit different.
And we got 1 more half mile to go, right?
2 weeks.
Next one.
2 weeks in Bridgeport,
Down
New
in
Jersey, just outside of Philly.
Then we dip into a couple of those TTs.
Peoria. Actually, there's another half mile now because of Buffalo Chip has been changed. There's another half mile in Rapid City, South Dakota. That
we have Castle Rock.
Castle Rock would be right after that. Yeah, so 2 TTs left, 2 half miles left after this one, and 2
miles.
Yeah, so the only thing we are done with is the short tracks. We wrapped up those early on in the season. Pitting in the infield today, obviously you can see that. They actually,
there's a motocross track here too. You can see it on the right.
Yeah, there's also a little bitty short track up there behind. Can't see it from this shot, but maybe right there in that little, right by the barn area. Yeah, there it is. You found it right in the middle.
Right behind the main grandstand there.
Yeah, and that's where the marketplace is. Stop by and get you some American Flat Track merchandise. Also, don't forget to get your 50-50 tickets. Half of the money. I'm sorry, they're not doing money. They're doing a Jeff Stanton replica Arai helmet. The ladies are walking around with that. Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Man, that guy, Stanton, was one of the absolute most intense racers I've ever met of any kind of motorsport.
I think you put him up there with Meese, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, not up there with you at all.
No,
shockingly.
Meese. I said, not me.
No, there was something about Stanton. Well, Meese is very much that way.
Right.
But Jeff, I mean, all the years I would cover motocross and supercross, going back into the late '80s when I started covering that stuff on TV. You'd try to talk to Jeff on race day.
Not happening.
It was one word if you were lucky. And he didn't hate you. I mean, it was like he wasn't telling you to, get away or anything. He just super, super, super focused. And I'll never forget when I first saw him right after he retired. First time I saw him after he retired, he comes up, he's like, "Hey, Ralph, oh, buddy," he's throwing his arm around me. "How you been? What's going on? Oh, how's the dog?" The whole thing. And I'm looking at him like,
who is this guy?
Who is this? You look a lot like Jeff Stanton, but you're not Jeff Stanton.
Right.
But that's the real Jeff Stanton. Now, Jared Jared, even today, will be friendly, very outgoing and all that. But, yes, on race day is certainly focused. The other person who was like that was Alan Kulwicki, the great NASCAR champion.
Yeah.
You could go to dinner with Alan on Saturday night, and you'd see him in the garage area on Sunday, and he'd walk right by you like you weren't even there.
Just didn't
His
acknowledge
mind
it.
was 1,000% on race setup and racing.
Well, so far in our Mission Super Twins, we've had 2 rounds of practice. Johnny Lewis fastest in the first round, and it was Henry Wiles fastest in the second round. Should anybody else be worried?
You should always be worried, right? It's racing. You never know.
Exactly. So
that's why we line them up and
staging them over here for our first round of qualifying. For you new fans, since we haven't been here in some 35 years, we have 2 rounds of qualifying. There are transponders on the motorcycles. They will get the fastest lap from either the first round or the second round. That is how they'll get qualified into their 2 heat races. Out of the heat races, we'll take the top 6. If you don't make it out of the top 6 out of the heat race, you come back in one last chance qualifier. And it looks like they put a lot of moisture down on the racetrack. Breyer immediately goes to the high line on the number 3, KTM. Taking around the back straightaway, looks like Jiggy Dog is right there in tow, the 95, JD Beach. We're getting a question from the back of the truck.
So the question, Scotty, is if you're JD Beach, do you prefer to be behind a guy or even Jared back there in third? Do you care to be behind a guy and kind of observing what some of the others are doing? Or would you prefer to be at the front of the pack and just running your own deal?
I would have to say there's 2 different versions of that answer. I think if I'm off the pace right now, if I'm struggling so far through practice, I'm going to find somebody else that's going good and try to go out there right behind them. However, if I'm going really good, I either want to be at the very front so I don't have nobody in my way, or I want to be at the very back so I have plenty of room to go out there and maybe search around a little bit, as we see Breyer kind of blowing the groove down here in 3 and 4, but maybe trying the high line right now. So, again, just depends on how you're doing so far up to this point.
You set that up so easy. I mean, you teed me one up right there, but I know I haven't seen you in a week, and I don't want to.
Oh, you don't want me to roost you yet?
No. Well, see, that's the difference.
Okay, yeah.
If it was you and Lima, you would have dropped the hammer on me right away on this one.
Yes, because I
all right, so now that you mentioned it, yeah.
All right.
So you said if I wasn't running well, I would fall back.
Right. So,
but you said there was two
answers.
Scenarios for you.
Okay.
In reality, there's only one scenario. If the traditional scenario
I'm feeling good right now,
you would have been
at the back.
Yes.
Okay. If I'm feeling good right now, I would either want to be at the very front or at the very back, not showing anybody my line or trying to get away from everybody else. But if I'm struggling a little bit, find somebody that's got a quick lap out there. Find Johnny Lewis. Find somebody that's already set a fast time and go out there and see what they're doing. Go to school. That's what Dallas Daniels is doing.
That's a good guy to follow right there.
And Johnny's been fast all day. He mentored
either one of those 2.
He mentored Dallas Daniels a long time through Dallas's amateur career. So, go to school. Go out there and see what he's doing. Watch the 10 up the inside of Bronson Bauman, just on the very edge of the groove.
Boy, that's
kind of upset.
That's as close as you can get without getting right up in the guy's grill.
Kind of upset the mode or the position that the 37 was in, so he had to set up a little bit and let off and let the 10 go on by. And the 10 has put in some fast laps. Last time by was a 2:06.143, but his best lap's a 2:06.029. And that is the fastest lap we have seen so far in the Super Twins class. The fastest lap is now Johnny Lewis here in this first group, first round of qualifying. He reaches up right there and just wipes off his shield. Maybe he's out of tear-offs, but quickest lap we have seen so far in the Super Twins was just set by the 10 bike, 2:06.029. That's the fastest lap of the day, Ralph.
That's a guy who, when he dials everything up on that Royal Enfield, it's a potent combination.
And you know what? Maybe because it's got a little less horsepower than some of the other bikes, it's working. He probably has less wheel spin. He can get more drive off the corners.
It's a good point.
More drive off the corners. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just saying that
bike started out. It is.
That bike started out as a 650, and they're building it. They're still working on it, and it's working for him tonight. He's quick time right now in the Royal Enfield, and here comes group number 2 onto the racetrack of your Mission Super Twins, 109 Billy Ross, 61 Casey Cisco, 223 Jeffrey Lowry, 94 is Ryan Wells. He's from Albion, New York.
I mean, you can have all the power in the world, but if you can't get it to the ground,
then it's useless. Exactly. 34 Cameron Smith, 17 Henry Wiles. He's waiting to go. There's Cameron Smith. 47 Michael Hill, 92 is Brandon Price, 96 Cody Johncox. He's also a New York guy. 22 is Mitch Harvitt, 77 Jordan Harrison. The 16 is Garrett Wilson. About the second time we've seen him this season.
Didn't I see something on your social media the other day where you were handing a trophy to Cameron Smith?
Yeah, Cameron did very well at the Barbara Fritchie Classic. I think he had a couple of seconds and 1/3, I believe, at the Barbara Fritchie. They were running several different classes. He had his twin out there and had a single out there. And if you haven't been to the 4th of July race, the 102nd Barbara Fritchie just happened. Next year will be the 103rd running of that race.
That's amazing.
It's so cool. It's such a unique racetrack. You got to check that out if you're. Hopefully the series is out here again, just like they were this year. You know, I got to stick around out here on the East Coast and catch 3 races in 7 days.
102 years of.
Of course, there was a couple of breaks for the war. There was a couple of,
just like Indianapolis to 107.
We didn't go there during COVID. But other than that, they've been racing there every year on the 4th of July. One year is on the 14th of July for some reason. But they try to run on the 4th of July every single year.
Moss hit 100 this year. I mean, it's
so cool.
That's amazing. Those are massive events too, right? So to think that race has been able to get into that same.
It's incredible.
Same amount of dates.
Three digits. It's just nuts. 100 years of anything. Never that 100. John Cox from Attica, New York, on the other side of New York, and Cam Smith from Pennsylvania. Here from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. That's where Johnny Lewis is originally from as well. Asked him how he got involved in flat track. He said, all my friends were doing it, so I thought I'd better try it. And now he's hooked. That's all it takes. There's a 17, Henry Wiles. Wiles was fastest in our second round of practice. He's up to 7th right now here in our first time session, 26.386. Quick times at 26.029. Meese is up there 2nd. Fisher's 3rd right now. Pryor's 4th. Wiles is the fastest on the racetrack on that 17 Indian.
I'm sure we'll see Henry at Peoria. Yeah. Any word if he's going to go all the way out to Castle Rock?
We haven't heard yet. It was a race-by-race deal. I talked to him and Johnny Goat at 2 separate times at the Lima, Ohio National, and they both said until they get sick of each other. So that could be tonight, could be next year. You just never know. So far it's working out pretty good. And he's getting more and more comfortable. Being off the bike or off of the circuit for a while, you lose a little bit of the edge. It's hard to lose everything, especially when you're as talented as Wiles. But we'll see how long that team lasts. Together could be for the future. We don't know. So I'm assuming we'll see the 17 at Peoria and hopefully Castle Rock and actually all the rest of the rounds. We have 6 left after tonight. So that was it for Mission Super Twins qualifying round number 1. We shift gears down a notch to the Parts Limited AFT Singles. 31 total entries. They will all make it into 2 qualifying heat races. Out of the heat races, we'll take the top 6 finishers. For you fans that are in attendance, we have an open paddock area that's 6:35 until 7:25. You go across right at the finish line. That is where you can go into the pit area if you want to meet your favorite star of Progressive American Flat Track before they go to work and start their heat races. Opening ceremonies tonight is at 7:30 and our first heat race at 7:45. Again, that's Eastern time for you folks tuning in all around the world. Bikes are pulling onto the racetrack. Singles. All right, let's check in on that victory podium. Kristen B. Kristen, how's it going out there?
Well, Scotty, it is very loud down here in Victory Lane, but one runner I have my eye on in this AFT Singles class, Trevor Bruner. Around this time last season, his career trajectory, his accomplishments throughout the season started to excel at this point in the season. He got better as the season progressed. Today when I spoke with him, I asked him if that's the same trend, if they'll be following the same strategy as they approach these final few races of the year. And he said, listen, I wish it weren't that way, but it just seems to always work out that way with the schedule. He also said he's been having some conversations with the team and himself, reminding himself what it's like to race up front and motivating himself to be there every single weekend, because guys, that window of opportunity to earn those race wins on the season is starting to slowly close. Scotty, as you mentioned, 6 races to go after tonight.
Are you one of those guys that's big on visualization and all that?
Yeah, I think so. You got to visualize it to know you can do it, you know, and see it in your head first before you go out there and do it. And my dad, what he would tell me to do is visualize the start, you know, because that's where everybody's got to start at the same point. Visualize getting through turns 1 and 2, and then kind of let the rest unfold. So you have to already know in your mind what you're going to do in those situations, especially right at the start.
Yeah.
Bruner on the 21 had a season best finish last weekend at Mineral Wells, West Virginia. Run the very low line, chasing the 88 right now. That's sat off.
I think the low point for him last year was after Dallas, wouldn't you say? And then it kind of started to turn.
Yeah, started getting better and started clicking him off. And, you know, and when you switch teams, you know, he was on the red bikes. Now he switched to the blue bikes last year. This is his second season on the Essence and Yamahas, and his teammates having a good season so far in his first full season of Drain. So a lot of different variables, you know, going through the Essence and pit area. But Bruner, you know, he's got some very strong tracks coming up, and he should be good on all the car half miles too. I speak about Cody Kopp going well on the car half miles. Bruner should be the exact same way. He's chasing the 88 of Sadoff currently 6th. The Bruner Blackjack up there, the 21 is up there 4th right now. Chad Coase between them on the 49 bike. Long straightaways, they said the track's about the same distance as last weekend at Mineral Wells, but this one is very, very flat.
It's a full 5/8, right?
Yeah, they said it's a 5/8, you know, a little, maybe a half mile at the very bottom of the racetrack. So again, only a few bikes around the very bottom. Looks like more of the singles are doing it than the Super Twins, but I would say it's a half mile on the inside. Checkered flag is out. Cody Kopp, the top spot. His last lap, his fastest one, a 2:5.90. It's not quite his fastest lap. It's actually in the first round of practice. Tom Drayton had the fastest lap in the singles class, but that was only practice, 2:5.77. But now fastest in qualifying, Cody Kopp. Tom Drayton is right there, the 59, and that is so impressive. The Australians second and third, and there are no tracks like this down in Australia, Ralph.
No miles.
No clay half miles like this either.
Half miles like this.
Most of their tracks are loose tracks, they call them. Sometimes if they have the bigger tracks, they call them long tracks. So it's very impressive to see what these two Australians are doing. And a bunch of Australians were here during the Flat Track Grand Championships and had some good, talented riders out there. So we'll see more of them. And it's awesome to see out here in Progressive American Flat Track. Again, don't forget to get your raffle tickets. Somebody's going to take home a Jeff Stanton replica, a Rye helmet right here tonight. Speaking of replica, look at this. Maroney's Harley-Davidson colors. The teal, blue, and the pink. Kind of Miami Vice theme colors. Yeah, think about Will Davis when you see those colors. Yeah. Maroney sponsored a bunch of people. Jake Johnson, Jared Meese, Mike Hacker, Brian Smith, and a bunch of people. That's Andy right there. Andy Moreno. He'll be up in the single or in the Hooligans coming up in just a few moments. They'll have their heat race, but this is group number 2 of your singles class. Parts Limited AFT singles sponsored by Kicker. They're trying to get qualified in. Again, also trying to pick up that Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award, $500 to go a long way to some of these guys in group number 2. You see the two different lines working into turn 1. You're either going in high or you're going in low. There's nothing right now in the middle. There's Logan Eisenhard to 166.
So I talked to a good buddy of mine yesterday on the way driving over here from the airport over in White Plains. Brett the Jet Hearn, one of the legendary big block super modified racers from up here in the Northeast. He actually used to be the promoter here at this speedway for the last few years, up until last year. And I said, Brett, you know, what do you expect with the bikes on the dirt here? He said, with the big blocks these days, they're driving so much horsepower through the tires. They're really digging in and pulling the top layer of the dirt surface off. He said, obviously the bikes won't do that. He said, but down the front straightaway, there tends to be a series of ripples. He said, so it could be kind of bouncy, a little rough for the guys going down the straightaways. Not sure how that's going to impact things.
We're seeing it kind of peel up right here going into turn 3, just a little bit, but a little bit different. You're talking about with the horsepower.
Yeah, just reaching in and just pulling everything off.
Top layer.
And he said because of that, it gets dusty here with the cars. But I don't think that's really going to be our case here tonight. Too bad.
Well,
I mean, he was talking about dust to the point that the fans of the grandstand struggle to see.
Right. I've been to some sprint car races where it it gets like that, especially when we put the big tires out there and the moisture just goes away so fast.
Those big supers are
Here they are on the front straightaway. 24 Hunter Bauer out in front. Eisenhard chasing him on the 166. 166, fastest bike on the racetrack. He's our Mobile View Rookie of the Year leader right now.
Yeah, we have Pat Maroney down here. And guys, this is one of the coolest bikes in the paddock. We're having some reception problems, so I hope you can hear me okay. But Pat, I'm going to have you walk me through this build, because for me, being a race fan, this is obviously a bike that's got speed, but it's also got some style. So walk me through this.
Okay, so we started with an 88 1200 Sportster. I like the older Sportster engines that are 4 speeds because they're a thinner motor. The cases don't drag on the track in the corners. They make good power. They're lighter, but they're hard to find parts for. We lightened the bike up a whole bunch. We put a smaller battery. And basically, we raced these things back in the 90s and early 2000s. So I got a lot of experience setting these old Sportsters up. So when they come out with the Hooligan class and I started racing these again, I was like really into it, wanted to build one. And it's a lot more fun now because there's a lot less rules. I used to get really creative with the rules back then, and now I don't have to really worry about being that creative because you can do anything you want as long as you have the right wheelbase and a couple other things. And our color scheme has always been famous because, and you can tell we designed that in the 90s. That's why all the bright colors and stuff. But you can always tell the bike on the track with those colors.
Well, we love it, and we'll also be looking forward to watching a special feature. Our team sat down with you and Jared Mees, a rider that you sponsored back in the day. Had a nice long talk. We did it behind the scenes at the race shop at Maroney's, and these bikes are getting ready to go out, but thank you so much for your time. We're excited to watch that sit down later in the show.
Sounds good.
There's a handful of team names in this sport that just are legendary, right?
Yeah.
Maroney's was one, Bartels being another. And now the new wave of those team names would be Estenson, Turner,
Red
right
Bull,
there.
KTM now too. I mean, that's a broad name, but I mean they're doing good in the singles class. But yeah, I see what you're saying. As they're rolling out the Hooligans, their heat races up next. But I love the colors and get to see the big iron out here. It's almost heat race time for the Hooligans. After the Hooligans heat race.
You were a big Miami Vice guy, right?
Yeah.
You wore shoes without socks.
I definitely had bright colors like that.
Did you do the jacket
I never
with just
did it.
a
Never did a
T-shirt
sport
underneath?
jacket. No,
Like
no,
Don
I wasn't
Johnson.
Cool enough.
It's funny, this evolved out of not even a plan. I honestly I picked up an old Sportster because I have a Sportster problem. So to build back the Fast Hog heritage, I thought, let me build one. You know, let's do the teal frame. I want it to look kind of showpiece. Don't even tell Dad. He's going to get involved. You know, let me try to put one together to the new standard of new technology. You know, there's better brakes, better wheels they have. You know, every modern bolt-on part we can run. Before it got done, before it was powder coated, anything, we already had a plan started. So it turned into having the right racer. You know, and just try. You know, there's a series now for our East Coast series, so nothing's too far away. So it kind of it snowballed. Before you knew it, we were bolting a bike together in December to be at Corey Texter's Winter Throwdown that winter. We were there January 4th. Like, I hope it works. We'll see. But it all did. So it's snowballing faster. And of course now there's got to be, you know, we've got to have a second bike. So we got a second bike put together just to make sure we don't miss any of these races, because you do a lot of traveling and you hate to end the fun on some, you know, silly casual bike issue, whatever it may be.
That's Jimmy Maroney, Pat's son, talking about why they like this Hooligan category.
Yeah, the Hooligans are a lot of fun. They're getting set to roll onto the racetrack. We'll have 14 of them scheduled to have them out there, and they will all make it into one main event, but this is their only heat race of the night. Yeah.
So we heard Pat talking about how closely he read the rule book and how creative he had to be. You know, that's always been an interesting conversation in racing, the balance between being creative and outright cheating, if you will.
You had to read.
How do you feel about that?
You had to read the gray areas.
I love the creativity part of it. I've always found that fascinating. I love what a guy like Chad Knaus can do. You know, somebody like that who could be super creative.
Push the envelope.
Push the envelope. Well, read between the lines.
Right.
Doesn't say you can't do this, so I'm not cheating. I'm finding the loophole
in the rules.
In the rules, and taking my knowledge and being creative as to how I can take an advantage out of that.
Heat race. Number one, there's only one heat race for the Grand National Hooligan Championship Series. On the poles, the 18 of Sean Bear on the BMW. 76, Kevin Maloney Jr. on a Harley will start second. 155, Sean Raggio from Lockford, California will start third. And the last bike on the front row is the Rocket Ron Wood, number 88 on the Mark Tepper Racing Harley. Row 2, 84, Andy Moreno Jr., he's on the Maroney's Harley-Davidson. The 26, Ben Ludlow, Quakertown, Pennsylvania on the Triumph. The 8, Kenny Dolan from Millbrook, New York on a Harley. 61, Chris Weiss, Hellertown, Pennsylvania, also on a Harley. Row 3, Bob Reese on the Yamaha. 312, Brian Ames. The 421, Frank DeSantis. 64 is Georgie Price. And row number 4, that's the 82 of Bo Woodrick and the 125, TJ Swartley. Those are the bikes lined up for heat race number 1 of your Hooligan class. They will all make the main. It looks like one bike's missing out of that front row, maybe the 155 of Raggio.
It's a good look at the 84 Moreno on the Maroney's bike. He's clicked into gear.
I don't even see any tear-offs on that motorcycle. He's planning on being out front, Ralph.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get a real good crack at it here real fast. Here we go. Focused on the lights, getting ready to go. Underway.
BMW on the inside. 76 leads him into the first corner. Kevin Maloney Jr.
coming up around the outside, the 71 trying to make something happen over there. Doesn't look like that's going to open up for him the way he wanted. Down the backstretch we go and into turn number 3.
Two-way battle
on
for
the
top
outside,
spot.
the 76, Kevin Maloney. Making it work, getting a really good bite up there, pushing hard, full handful of throttle, and he's going to come around the outside and take the lead away as we cross the line with the 18 of Bear right there on the bottom.
High, wide, and handsome for the 76, Kevin Maloney Jr.
So you get a Harley-Davidson in the lead with the BMW running in second as we go down the backstretch once again.
Here comes Bear looking for a way through. Bear won the Lima half mile just a few weeks ago in the 18 BMW. The 76 leaving the throttle on up in the loose stuff. Here he comes. 76 still out front. Bear in second. Now Bear's going to try the high line on the 18 bike. Bear Racing Products, Henry's BMW, Carnes Performance.
Coming on the bottom, here he comes, working it. Had a pretty good line through there. Not good enough, but he's right on him as we go to 3. Now he's going to make it work. Bear on the bottom of the BMW, getting that power to the ground. And here he comes, drifts up a little bit, gets right up in front of him. Nice slide job, but cutting right back to the inside is Maloney.
Wow.
And he'll beat him to the line. Maloney will get credited with the lead on that lap. But the fight is on for the win here, and heat number 1 with the Hooligans.
This is just a heat race. The 76 is full lock to lock in the slide down here, 1 and 2. Kevin Maloney.
Cost him the spot coming off of 2, and he'll lose that gap of a couple of bike lengths now as we go back to 3.
So, Ralph, these
and
bikes,
they're really starting to make it work.
These bikes aren't handling the bumps as well as the other classes are. These bikes are heavy. The suspension's not as good. So when they hit those bumps, it really upsets the rider and the bike.
And there's a white flag, 1 to go. Look at how way upstairs is Maloney trying to find something different to get that drive. Whoa,
Man.
Bear right out to the wall. Just 2 more corners, and the BMW is going to have another win here. Progressive American Flat Track for the year.
Almost bounced off that back straight wall. Now he's settled down. There goes Maloney, even higher, the highest we've seen anybody. Checkered flag is out, Ralph. Sean Bear taking the win. Maloney second. Wait for the rest of them to come on across. Cool down lap. Third is the Rocket Ron Wood, the 88 bike. That wall comes up quick. Yeah, let's take a look at this, Ralph. Watch the lead at the top of the screen. Wider and wider. Oh, he hits a bump right there, stands it up on the rear wheel, and takes it all the way to the wall. I didn't see how he got up there, but now it makes sense.
Yeah, it's about as close to disaster as you could get. The old Molly Hatchet song, Flirting with Disaster, and he was doing that for sure.
Definitely was. He'll take it back to the pit area. That is it for the heat race action for your Hooligan class. So we're going to go straight into our second round of qualifying for your Mission Super Twins. They are up next, and they're staging up right now as we speak. No track prep in between. Again, for you folks that are here, open paddock area going on from 6:35 until 7:25.
Is Kristen going for more ice cream?
Yeah, she is looking for the ice cream truck right now, I think.
I did.
You saw the ice cream truck?
I did see the ice cream truck, which I thought was very cool.
Have you seen that at a racetrack
I have
before?
never seen one at a racetrack.
Me neither.
But it's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
We need to start. Should we drive one across the country to all the races?
Yeah, why not? and you could create your ice cream flavors based on racing
race tracks,
themes.
yeah. Like high, wide, and hot, or high, wide, and cold.
Chocolate.
JD's like, come on, let's go. He was ready to send them out. This is final round of qualifying. Mission Super Twins are ready to go. The 32, Dallas Daniels. The 1 is Jared Meese. The 3, Briar Bauman on the KTM. There it is.
There she is. Look at that.
Earlier today. I got a text message. I think Kristen asked me what my favorite popsicle was, and I guess when I was a little kid, my favorite flavor of popsicle was banana.
Oh.
I know. I don't remember that, but
I'm not sure I would be talking too much about that.
Well, that's what I was told. 67, Davis Fisher. 44, Brandon Robinson. The 20, Jared Vandekoy. 37 is Bronson Bauman. 36, Kobe Carlisle. 25, Ben Lau. The 10, Johnny Lewis. And the 62, it's the new dad, Dan the Man Bromley on the 62. One more round of qualifying for both of our AFT classes. Meese is like scooting a little bit ahead. He's ready to go. Hey, Ralph, how was England for you this last weekend?
England was fantastic. We had our first World Supercross event, which you would have seen on FS1 as well over there in Birmingham at Villa Park, the home of Aston Villa, the famed soccer club over there, or football club as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Huge motorcycling community over there in the UK. I wanted to go check out the National Motorcycle Museum, which was nearby. Didn't get a chance to make that. Did get to go see the birthplace of a lot of the heavy metal scene over there.
That's cool.
Like Ozzy Osbourne's childhood home and a lot of different places like that, which was really cool. We did a feature on that. But, yeah, I mean, just outstanding. Last year we kicked the season off in Cardiff, Wales, not too far from Birmingham, but this was a different venue, and I thought the racing was great for Rick Ware, who competes with us here in Progressive American Flat Track. It was a good weekend for him, as he has the defending champion, Shane McElrath, in the SX2 category, the 250 category, and they won again, so they're the points leaders there. So they're off to a good start. Our next race will be in Singapore in September. Looking forward to that in the National Stadium over there. And about the time I'm getting ready to go to Singapore, you'll be coming back from England.
Yeah, I'm going over there the last week of September, the last day of September, and actually the first day of October will be a race over at the Greenfield Short Track, which is mimicked to be just like the Springfield Short Track. They actually have the same type of water truck. They have the same tractor to dig up the track just like they do at Springfield. And they love it over there. They love some flat track racing. It's so much fun. Meese out in front on the 1. The 3's in hot pursuit, chasing him up the racetrack is Briar Bauman. We saw Dallas Daniels come out and kind of cut around turns 1 and 2, and then he started picking up the pace. He wanted to see what these leaders are going to do. Johnny Lewis has the fastest lap in the first session, 2:06.029. That is what everybody is chasing, because they all want that $500 Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award. Jared Meese quickest so far in this session, 2:06.223. Now Briar sneaks up to second, 2:06.468. Dallas finally stepping on the gas or twisting that throttle, 2:06.518. Here comes Johnny Lewis, 2:06.306. He's not in the lead group, so he's not want to show everybody his line, but he's running the very bottom of the racetrack as he was in that last session. It's easy to get a good qualifying lap in, but when you line them up and race them side by side, you got to get a good start, and you got to put a whole race together, Ralph, and we'll see if Johnny Lewis can do that here tonight on that Royal Enfield. Right now, he's still our pole setter because he was fastest in the first round. The track's drying out a little bit.
It's getting dustier out there. You can see it.
A little bit slower.
Jared really fighting the handling on that number 1.
I think they all had their hands full, but we're keeping an eye on the 1 bike. You know, when they hit those bumps, it kind of You can feel it in your handlebars, and you can feel it in the shocks, and you see just how soon Mies gets his butt over that rear wheel coming off in turn number 2 and gets that traction on that rear wheel to take him down that back straightaway.
A little bit higher, gets right up along the cushion.
All I was told from everybody I talked to in the pits is this track is going to be slick. No matter if it's wet slick or dry slick, whenever they're out there, it is going to be slippery.
That's the end of the session. Jared at the top of the board with a 26.156.
Johnny Lewis backs up his fast time earlier with a 26.306. Second in this session, still overall has the quick time with one more group to go in your Mission Super Twins, sponsored by S&S Cycle. Mies is definitely a half-mile racer. He's tied with Scotty Parker for the most half-mile wins all time with 35. He also has won on more different racetracks than anybody else in Progressive American Flat Track. There you go. Round number 2 of qualifying. It's Mies, Lewis, Breyer, Bauman. So it's Indian, Royal Enfield, KTM, the second Indian is the 44, Robinson, Fisher. Daniel's back in 6th. JD Beach, the Yamaha's 6th and 7th. Carly Carlisle also on Yamaha. Dan Bromley's on Yamaha as well. So Yamaha's 6 through 9. And Bronson Bauman on his KTM rounds out your top 10. One more group to go of qualifying. They're pulling onto the racetrack right now. Group number 2. 109, Billy Ross on the Kawasaki. 61, Casey Sisko on the Harley-Davidson. 223, Jeffrey Lowry on the Yamaha. 94, Ryan Wells on a Royal Enfield. 34, Cameron Smith on the Yamaha. 17, Henry Wiles on the Indian. 47, Michael Hill on a Kawasaki. The 92, Brandon Price. That is all in on the Barnes Racing KTM. 96, Cody Johncox. 22's Mitch Harvitt. 77, Jordan Harrison. The 16, Garrett Wilson. Another Kawasaki out there of 16 model. Wiles was fastest in our second round of practice today with a 2.6.082. If he can replicate that, he'll get up there and be on a front row, but he wants to get that quick time, get that $500 from the Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award. There's the Missile Michael Hill. And there's Hammer and Hank. The king of Peoria. Not a prince. That's Chris Carr.
Right.
King Henry, though, it kind of goes together. The bikes sound good today.
As long as you're not the Joker, you're okay.
Yeah, be that.
King or Prince is good.
Yeah. Second round of qualifying, Mission Super Twins. Wiles up to 6th at 2.6.45 as he's closing on the 47 of Michael Hill, who's currently 20th in this session. 2.7.357. Again, pitting in the infield today, a little bit different than we've been doing the last few rounds. There's the 223. Jeffrey Lowry up there in the 13th spot. He's 11th overall as he slips off the groove down there just when we start watching him down here in 1 and 2. Now we're going to grab a handful of throttle right here, the 223. That's a Yamaha MT-07.
There's not a lot of banking down there to help you turn, is there?
No, you really got to jam on the brakes and slide it sideways. I know some of the guys are actually pitching it sideways just past the start-finish line. So that's, oh man, that's how fast. There you go. You can see it right there. He throws it sideways, going in the corner. That helps you slow down. We know the singles are actually downshifting when they throw it into the corner, which really slows you down a lot. Not much banking, if any banking at all, on this racetrack.
Probably see some glowing brake rotors tonight.
I think that'll be the key. I think, coming off the corners, you keep the wheel spin down, and by dragging the rear brake, that's what will do that. So we'll definitely see some glowing rotors, probably more so in the twins class than the singles class. Lowry times in at 11th overall. Fastest in this session was a 2.6.748. 11th in this round as well. Checks are down. Mission Super Twins, their qualifying is in the books. 2 groups of singles, and then we'll have our open paddock area. Again, the open pits are 6:35 until 7:25. Opening ceremonies at 7:30. Our first heat race at 7:45 out here Eastern Time Zone. Don't forget, get your raffle tickets. Somebody's going to take home that Jeff Stanton replica Arai helmet. The rest of the money goes to Back on Track, the official charity of Progressive American Flat Track. They help raise money for anybody that gets hurt in our sport of flat track motorcycle racing. So get your raffle tickets while you can. We'll draw that winner right before the singles main event here tonight. The Parts Limited AFT singles are already staged up and ready to come on to the racetrack. Big P is our flag man out there. He's ready to go. The fans are just now filing in to the Orange County Fair Speedway here in Middletown, New York. Singles are rolling onto the racetrack right now. Group number 1, the 1 of Cody Kopp. The 18 is his teammate Maxwell. The 88 Chase Satoff. 21 Trevor Bruner. 79 Dalton Gauthier. 48 Trent Lowe. 59 is Tom Drain. 13 Morgan Mishler. 19 James Ott. 49 Chad Coase. 82 Travis Pettin. 91 Justin Jones. 52 Shayna Texter Bauman. 51 Cole Zabala. 63 Jared Lowe. And the 26 Aiden Rusevans. Those are the bikes on the racetrack right now. The 2 Red Bull KTMs go to the high side. The 2 Estenson Yamahas go to the bottom. Sat up on the 88 ahead of the Estenson Yamahas onto the back straightaway. So the big teams are out there in the top 5-6 spots right now. On the racetrack, that is. One of them pulls out of the way. That'll be Cody Kopp. He either had an issue or he's just getting out of the way, letting everybody go. He's looking over his shoulder. Now we get back in line. So Cody Kopp was feeling the pressure, and he just backs it off right there. Kopp just goes way back there and gets out of the way. Now he gets back on the throttle. Just didn't want to lead these guys, I don't think. He has fast time so far.
Yeah, he's going to linger back here a little bit, follow them.
59 got really sideways right here. Looks like the track is drying out. They didn't water before this session, so the track's drying out a little bit.
Well, they'll do it when we're doing our
open paddock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get faster. They'll continue to get faster throughout the night, I think. I like the 2 different lines going into 1 and 2 for sure. Run the high line or run the bottom.
There's not much in the middle, is there?
No, it looks like it's too rough, a little bit too choppy. Especially in 1 and 2. It looks like they can drift up the racetrack down here in 3 and 4 and try the high line. Saw a couple of Hooligan riders trying it first. There goes Whale. Here comes the battle for second on the racetrack. One of the Estenson Yamahas coming on through. It looks like Drain's figuring this place out.
Oh boy,
wow,
he got right into Maxwell.
Yeah, the 2 Australians kind of rubbing off each other down here in turn number 2. Drain's up there second overall in quick time. Chad Coase up there second here in this session, 2:06.252. Watch these 2 Australians, the 18 and 59. 59 just gets in there really hot, Ralph, and drifts up the racetrack. Oh, man, he gets all up on the front wheel and does a great job staying off of his fellow countrymen.
You know, Tom's got the speed. Now what's coming along, I think you see, Scotty's a little bit of the attitude to match him, right?
Yeah, you know, he's been here.
He's getting those elbows up, and he's saying, you know what, I belong. He's feeling like he belongs.
Yeah, he's one of these guys and girls out here in this singles class, and yeah, he's feeling good. Shane Texter Bauman up here 7th in this round, 10th overall so far for 52. I see a yellow flag out. That's not good. Oh, the checkered flag's out, that's why. Okay, I thought somebody went down, but it's just because the checkered flag came out. But Rusevans jumps up to 5th on that last lap. He put in a heater, 2:06.437 for the 26 bike.
Well, there's some bumps going into 3.
Forget the curveball, Ricky. Give him the heater. See, that's a movie line. I know that one.
Not that you know.
I'm not the movie guy.
That came from the front of the truck, or the back of the truck.
Drain to the top spot here in this second round, 2:06.038. Not going to be good enough to get the overall right now. It's still Cody Kopp, 2:05.9. So we got one more group to go of qualifying. Then the gates will be open right there at the front straightaway to go to the infield, meet your favorite rider, the open paddock area just after this next one. It is scheduled right now from 6:35 to 7:25. Stop by that marketplace, grab yourself something to get autographed from your favorite rider. One more group to go.
You got time for one autograph from there. Who you get? Or the chance to interact with one racer. Who you going?
I'm going to see Mies.
Because
of history.
Stats.
Because of history. Because he's trying to become the greatest of all time, and I don't know. Is he going to keep racing? He's at the age where he might retire, pretty soon. So I think
full-time retire, but I think come out and play every now and then.
I think if I'm a fan in the stands, I would want to get Mies's autograph. If I didn't have it already.
No, you certainly wouldn't be wrong.
Who would you go?
I think Jared would have to be where you go for that. I mean, I think there's a lot of guys that would be fun to interact with.
Yes.
You know, that would be, not that Jared is not, you know, they're just great personalities, good to engage with. But boy, yeah, you'd have to start at Jared and work your way from it.
If you want to have some fun and laugh a little bit, go see Morgan Mishler. He's one of the funniest guys in the pits, but if you want some history, go see Meath. Last group, singles on the racetrack. Oh, the 24 has an issue, pulls in the clutch and gets out of harm's way. That's Hunter Bauer. The Big R Racing Little Deb Honda has an issue. He'll get out of the way. Drain fastest here in this second round, the 59, the 26.038. I don't think it's going to be fast enough to get him into the top spot. Oh, we'll see. I'm hearing that the chain's coming off. Watch the 24 right here. We know the track's a little bit bumpy. 24 is the bike on the... There goes the chain flying in the air. Watch out, 75.
You don't want to be right behind that.
Nope, he sees it and pulls in the clutch. Doesn't now he sees it and trying to get out of the way. The chain's right there in the middle of the back straightaway, so he'll coast that bike around. That's the Canadian number 24, Hunter Bauer. Okay, so Bowers, he's looking now. He just figured out the chains come off. There's your Mobile View Rookie of the Year leader from Bartow, Pennsylvania. He rides for the Waters Auto Body team, who's based out of New York, the 166. Trying to win the Mobile View Rookie of the Year leader, put his name in the history books. Right now he's 14th overall, 13th in this session, the 166. That's a good run so far by him. Must be 16 years of age or older to be a pro. What's fun for these kids is you grow up on these bikes just like this. You know, of course, you start with the 250, and then you move up to the 450, so it's not a big change. The only big change about this is the level of competition when you get up here to the Parts Limited AFT singles.
Boy, is that a big change.
It's huge. I mean, the good thing...
And as you move up through the field, that change gets even more...
The harder it gets, yeah.
Aggressive, right? I mean, you get up there battling with Cody and Bruner and Whale and those guys, man, it's
stacked,
fierce,
for sure. So that is it for qualifying. Looks like your fast qualifier is going to be Cody Kopp with a 25.9. Fastest in this session though was Tom Drain, the 51 Australian. Qualifying is in the books out here today at the Orange County Half Mile. They're going to do some track maintenance, and in just a little bit, they'll open up that gate. The open paddock area is scheduled from 6:35 until 7:25, so you have your chance to go in the pits. Please be careful when you cross that racetrack. Again, this is open to anybody that has bought a spectator ticket. Go on down there, meet your favorite rider. Again, that's going on until 7:25, so come on down, meet your favorite rider, get an autograph, stop by that marketplace, and don't forget to get your raffle tickets for that Jeff Stanton replica Arai helmet. Again, we'll have opening ceremonies at 7:30. Our first heat race is at 7:45 Eastern time zone out here at the Orange County Fair Speedway. There goes Moorhead's got himself a souvenir. He'll take that on home with him. He make that a necklace.
Yeah.
He's actually going to throw it right over the wall right there. There's the rider. Look at that. The rider went over there to go pick it up just in case he might be able to salvage that. Either that or it's going to be a souvenir. That's Hunter Bauer riding the Big R Racing Honda. Open paddock area. We'll take a quick break, and we come back at 7:30. It'll be opening ceremonies right here from the Orange County Fair Speedway, Middletown, New York. We'll be back at 7:30 for opening ceremonies. See you soon.
Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Singles Challenge. No holds barred, winner takes all dash for cash. The payout, a cool $2,500. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda, riding red since 1977. DallasHonda.com.
If bigger is better, then bigger plus tougher plus smarter must equal something pretty special. Something like the all-new Honda Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew. This is Honda's very first crew model side-by-side, giving you more seating, more hauling, more towing. Standard hard doors and spacious legroom make entering and exiting the Pioneer 1000 Crew easy. And on the back bench, the center seat is pushed forward to optimize shoulder room and comfort. At the core of the new